Okay, I really hope that one worked. Hello and welcome everyone to our second version of the Guild War Offensive tier list. Why did I wait on first? I wanted to check this offense tier list. With me today again are some fellow talentless members. Some of you may know our leader Red, and otherwise members of Talentless One, basically. And what we are going to do is pretty much the same as we did last time, ranking the units that we mostly use for the current season and trying to explain why we use them and what we think of their placement. The tiers are basically the same as we had last time. The big changes are pretty much just the names. We changed the name from very useful to recommended, as well as back in the day to off meta, because we thought that might be a bit more concrete on the explanation. And yeah, except for that, I'd like for everyone to say hello, so everyone knows where the people are. I think you guys should be audible.
Hello, is this thing on?
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, Red. Yeah, we are trying to sort these units, as Octavi already said, and yeah, the tiers I think demand a little explanation. Mandatory is for units that if you have them, you should definitely use them in Guild Wars. These are really good units that are hard to replace. Recommended are units that you definitely want to have on your account, like they're pretty good alternatives most of the time. Situational are units that are rarely used, but in this specific situation can be really good. MLM is basically a tier where, someone just tries to sell you their latest great idea on how to beat a certain comp. And off meta, as Octavio already mentioned, is units that used to be good, but currently are not. Or maybe units that were never good, but they're not really fitting into anything right now. And they're not really bad units on the other hand. And banned units are units that we don't use for reasons of consistency.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Alright, thanks for the second introduction. And without further ado, I think we can pretty much go into the ranking, right? Or anything else we want to add beforehand?
If you guys want to join Talentless, now's the time.
Also,
There we go.
questions and everything, we're going to try to address them during the stream, so just throw them out whenever you want. Probably should throw the questions for certain units when we literally do the units and not beforehand, because that's kind of difficult. Alright, so starting off with Acatus. So we were classic. Do you guys still use her?
Definitely, no.
I've actually used her a couple of times this season, but you need almost 300 effect res on her.
Yeah.
At least for the purpose you're using her on, right? Like, she can still be a decent healer if the opponent doesn't have Shu in their defense.
Yeah, and I feel like the fact that compared to Destina, she doesn't get her victory sense boost at the start of the battle, so she need to take the turn, and that's pretty tough most of the time because debuffer usually take turn before you.
Like, it's pretty rough for her right now as a fire unit with Lua and Chu running everywhere and what other things may run around, so I haven't. I think I only used her this season against, like, comps that aren't, like, in the meta anymore. Like, pretty old comps.
Yeah, Vivashi was a good solution back then, right?
Yeah.
Like, what we're trying to do here for everyone who's watching is basically address what the current season holds in terms of unit usage, right? Like, overall, okay, this is still a good unit, but her use, I think, is. I would have put her in the situation tier, but maybe I'm also off with that.
I I don't know. I feel like she's kind of an example of what off meta is for me. She used to be a great unit that was used in pretty much most of the Breezer comp we used. But now with Shu, Lua, etc., she kind of fell off, and I feel like she don't really have her place anymore in the meta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
I can agree to
with,
that.
I would agree with off metal.
I still use her a decent amount just because she's the Soul Weaver that has the most healing output out of any Soul Weaver. If you can bait all their units into hitting like your tank, she has healing every turn and can pretty much sustain that.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess.
that was always her position. I mean, we can put on situational first and see what else goes there, and we decide whether she still belongs there. I mean, we did that last time, so we're going to shuffle a bit at the end anyway. Also, like placing inside of the tier. Alright,
Yeah,
so AOS. I only just built Celine, so I still haven't used him in any comps yet, because I also don't know which comp I even use those two together for, so you guys have to say something about him.
For me, he's a mandatory unit, but
Yeah, with Lua being in every defense, he's like the best fire knight. You always bring him with like Zahak or Celine on Bastion, and he'll bait to sleep and
Oh yeah.
just hold an artifact.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically, the main reason he's used most of the time is because of Lua, right?
And he's a
And-
fire knight, right? That's, like
Yeah.
Lilius is basically is a replacement. I think I would argue in some comps that Lilius is even a better replacement for him if you don't need to protect your backline or himself.
Yeah.
On the other hand, we don't use Lilius at all, so
Yeah.
it is
Yeah,
what it is.
I
His
think-
S1, if he gets reset by Lua, is worse than Lilius one.
That is true.
I
He's
think
also good into Ran to bait the Arno.
Yeah.
Ah, that's
Yeah, that's the main reason. That's not even because of his kit, but that's because of the fact that we have next to no viable Fire Knight, and so he just becomes the only choice we have aside from Lilias
so.
to bait this kind of thing like Ran and etc.
So basically, we're missing the fire crow.
Yeah,
Please no-
exactly.
Please no. Yeah.
That's
Let's place him
yeah.
for mandatory for now. I mean, it sounds reasonable. I just haven't used him much myself
Ah.
yet.
Yeah.
Alright, Alencia.
Oh, this is gonna be
For me, situational at best.
So
This
I
is
feel
gonna be
like
tricky.
she dropped in comparison to the last
Yeah.
season.
yeah, clearly.
Last season, when Arabi shoe defense with the Lilius was everywhere, she was a really good unit.
Yeah.
But this season, no.
like
She's too slow, too susceptible to debuffs. Like when she gets unbuffable or blind or
Yeah.
it's just terrible.
like
We had too many losses with people forcing Katie's or Alencia into comps they shouldn't be.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that the fact that she used to be so strong is kind of baiting people now to run her on combat where she shouldn't be.
I can see
Yeah.
that. Like I like using Alencia. Like for me, like it feels pretty nice, but it also like I saw myself using her in a lot of comps where I'm like, oh, shouldn't have done that. Really didn't feel as good as it used to be, or like
Yeah.
should be.
So I still have found use for her, but in a very specific setup. So like, if I go for myself, I would put her in situational, but I wouldn't argue against putting her off meta.
Off meta.
I wouldn't put her in off meta. I think she's still usable.
I think she can still be in situation, you know, because off meta, like that's not quite. She is still used. Like maybe not
Yeah.
optimally, but she is used.
Okay. Yeah, but
He
I'm fine.
hasn't
with that.
completely fallen off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
She's still good, and in the spots where she shines, you know, where there isn't stuff like Senya to debuff and blind, provoke, lock her, she still
Yeah.
is really, really powerful. Having the
Yeah.
defense buff and strip as well is nice, but can't rely on that. I've seen
I
too many
think just having
resists.
like 34% injury in the first turn potentially is very good.
Yeah.
Stripping all of shoes and Senya's bullshit is also really good.
I think
She's
it
just
really.
not very good into Lua. Because
Yeah.
if she gets reset, she loses so much power on turn 1.
Yeah, she's not really good into openers overall. Like except for Sililius, against Round she's also not great. Like there's too many comms in defense right now that she doesn't work against. And I feel like the meta, the way it's changing now, is gonna be harder for her than easier. But let's see.
Yeah. Alright, so Wanda. I still have kept her up because technically we have a lot more dodge heroes now.
I think this is just off
But
meta.
I
Yeah,
don't really
that's
see
just
it
a
being
way
used.
better option that
Yeah.
comes later.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
And they got
Yeah.
power crept.
It just
Yeah, this
Yeah.
power crab. Now,
The
off meta is
power
not the
crab
correct
part is the
choice. She's just
important
dead.
thing, I think.
Wait, is she off meta or is she just not in the list? That's what I'm asking.
I wouldn't put her in the list, to be honest.
Yeah, she's just dead unit, I think.
I can
I haven't
see
seen
that.
anyone use her.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to leave it open because
Yeah, you want to be nice to one night, it's okay.
she could have a place. If
Look,
there
look,
wasn't
it's
a
okay.
unit.
I get it. I get it.
Alright. AOL. I remember her being used a lot in some MLM comps.
No, she's
Yeah.
definitely a situational unit. I
I
think
think she's one of the definition of situation.
for us, it's when you want to scout. I think she's a really hard to use unit, except for when you like can basically read when the team is gonna be in a certain way. Like let's say it's Ran and two units that are always gonna be really slow, then she can be maybe okay to help you win. But like she's better as a follow-up unit. And more for teams that want to win fast, which we probably don't want to do on scouting, depending on how safe you want to play. So, for me, definitely situational unit.
And it's best to think of it like you're just relying on her for her passive, and if her S3 lands, great, but don't rely on her S3
Yeah,
because you're probably going to get resisted.
Yeah. You just want the S2 basically. The S2 is the value you want. The S3 is just a bonus.
She holds book, but
Yeah.
she's bad at right
also a
now.
Bokono.
That's why it's like kind of hard to scout.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd agree with situational. The thing also is like, especially because of from the S3, and if we take a quick look at the list from the units we already placed out, it's basically most, if not all, units who rely on debuffs as a big thing just aren't what we look into. Like her S3 is being the extra and the S2 being the main thing with the book. Makes it quite different to like the reason why we don't use Dizzy, basically. Or, I mean,
Just assume that every debuff is gonna get resisted.
yeah.
Exactly. So,
Alright.
that's meant for me.
Alright. Momo.
Wow, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I will say I'm gonna put her in recommended if I had to put her.
I think she
I think, I think
There's no green damage dealer in the meta.
she's similar to a Caddis. Like rarely used, but she
It
could have
depends.
her
The
use.
difference is there's literally no green damage dealer in the defense meta, right? So
There
at
is
least
Senya.
yeah, okay. It's not really a burst damage dealer. I think Momo can easily tank Senya.
Yeah, that's why she is usable. Otherwise, she would be like
Yeah.
just.
She also resists all of Lua's bullshit, and if you can survive turn 1, she can heal up your team and turn around. But on the other hand, we rarely use this kind of playstyle. This is a more feel like last season playstyle at the moment, which means you could put it at either of these tiers. I recommended our situation is both fine.
I think if we put Alencia in situational, we cannot put Momo in recommended. Like,
Okay,
we,
so
we use.
Like Akadi's more than Momo, but I would put them next to each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're cute together.
I'm going to put her here first. The thing about recommended is like
I want to
I
recommend
don't feel
Momo.
like very like recommending people to use Momo into Senya, even if she would work perfectly, just because
Yeah.
of what Senya is usually paired with. Like I don't want the Momo to tank Senya and potentially the Hugh. It's kind of like
Yeah, it depends. If you, like, let's make an example. If you're fighting against Celilius, Senya, Fire DPS, and you don't have Dark Harvest, she's a good option, basically. Like this kind of comp, where she barely gets any aggro and the opener doesn't harm her in any way, then she's okay.
Yeah,
But there's
my
most of the
reasoning-
time there's better options.
My reasoning for Akadi's over her is Akadi's doesn't have a downturn, so there's no chance of her getting countered or
Yeah.
That is
even
pretty
played half the
valuable.
time. Like when Momo doesn't get the reset, it feels really bad.
Yeah, and you wanna S2 all every time basically, which is also kind of weird. There's this one comp that we tried against the Ran, Senya, Mero comp, which is a very difficult comp to scout. With Momo as one of the core units, that can work, but we haven't really did enough testing. We did 3 attacks with that so far, and I
Yeah.
thought this was pretty good. What I saw that then, but that's also kind of susceptible to dual attacks, which
Yeah.
is basically just
We
Not
found
great.
we found another alternative before we could test more.
Yeah. So for me, this is fine.
Yeah, we can keep
Yeah.
it for now.
I think so too.
So, Angelica. I would
Okay.
say
And no.
that's
No,
No.
sorry, but
Corral replacement number 3.
yeah, a
There
number
to take
doesn't
the room.
exist.
I mean,
Oh, this is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
alright, Awabi.
Okay, I'm gonna say off meta. Just to throw this, like basically start this discussion off.
Yeah.
This unit is very, very, very hard to use at the moment.
It's,
I would
I don't
agree
know.
actually, because everywhere where I can use her is basically like it's like a simple combo. I'm like, well, I just use her because I want to use her, but it's
She's
not
like a simple
I
unit
need
as
to-
well, like very clean kit.
Yeah.
Gets hit, gets pushed, gets healed, kills something, revives. It's basically like old Nikes in Dota, just lifesteals and wins.
I think she only works consistently against bad defense.
Yeah,
That's how I see it.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It's kind
that's-
of bad into all the main bruisers that are on defense right now.
Yeah,
And when you use her, it's more like, oh, I don't have a third unit here. Might as well put it Rafi.
Yeah, and this is bad defense.
Because Awabi is really just like the very definition of the discussion we had with it's a good unit, but not right now.
yeah.
Right now, there's just a lot of stuff that either kills her, debuffs her too fast, pokes her too fast, or, you know,
Injure her.
prevents her from working really well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think I've used her in a very long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
so-
neither. Like one season at least.
Pretty much
Since the
the-
last year, basically.
Pretty much the definition of meta in that case.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
She's still a very strong unit, but just not in this meta.
Yeah, I agree. That's why we made this specific tier.
alright. Avi.
There's exactly one comp
Yeah,
where
there's
he's
one.
really good against, and he's basically used as random bullshit AoE that doesn't die in a turn 1.
Sacrificed.
I
It's
think
a
we all
well
know.
Nemesis area. What?
Yeah, we all know
It's,
this comp.
it's exactly the one. Like I love using him there, but it's exactly only that comp I ever use him for anything.
I don't know if
Dies
it's
every
MLM
time.
then.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a single use unit.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
MLM. I don't even know where to put him.
It's technically a niche, but
I think
we
it's-
don't have a niche. So
Yeah, niche is like the extreme situation. I think so.
Yeah, it's a
I
specialist
could
basically.
you like this is the bottom of situation or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
It's like one comp use only.
It's exactly
Yeah.
that one comp.
And I think
One
it's not
comp and
wrong.
one time use.
Yeah.
And sometimes he survives, like rarely, but sometimes. Alright.
Yeah.
Anyone using a Maroon offense anymore?
I think
I
Deadly
used
was
her
right.
exactly once this season against the weird defense that had Rylet and something else, but she's not a unit I would recommend using.
I think
Too
it
much
was-
randomness, not fast enough at winning a follow up. And on scouting, you're too unsure what's happening, so no.
Ah, that's
I
true.
used her into Rylet just because she's
Yeah,
a tanky
because
bruiser. but
you could, basically.
Yeah.
It's like flexing.
Yeah. It's like either MLM or not even in the tier list. I don't know because she didn't used to be like good, so I don't know if we can put her in off meta. So,
Maybe
yeah.
MLM.
I think
I just
MLM
think
would.
there aren't that many units that you want to seal on defense. Like you can't seal Shu. You don't really want to seal Senya. It doesn't do much.
Yeah, I think I would just put her off the list, but I'm fine
Yeah.
with MLM. I don't think anyone MLMs her.
I think
anymore.
it's either
She's
MLM
just bad
or
at the moment. At this moment, she's just bad, but she could be an MLM.
I'm
think
going
I'd
to
seen
put
a
her
couple
and MLM first, so we see who else ends up here, and then
Yeah,
we can
that's fine.
put her out.
I
Alright.
think earlier in the season, I had seen someone try to sneak that through a comp check, and I think talked him out of it.
I scouted some Ford in one of the guilds with that unit, but
I like how
just
that
because I could,
sounds.
basically. This was so safe that there was no chance of losing. So you can bring anything there, like Batis or something maybe.
I used her a couple times, and every time I got someone else to use her, they almost lost.
Well,
I feel that.
the current problem.
alright. So
Oh, I can't wait. I'm revving up the engines.
Mandatory instantly.
who wants to take this first stage for Arya? Go
Deadly
ahead.
wants to.
Okay, right.
Deadly is my disciple of Arya. Go ahead.
Mandatory.
Yeah, Jelly. There's not even a discussion needed. Just overall, it's one pick.
Explain it for the viewers.
It has to be
Um,
red to explain Jelly.
Basically, stealth is really powerful, and you can use Arya to bait everyone into hitting her, while the rest of your team is protected. She does a lot of damage, is very tanky, and can solo a lot of the meta units, especially Kayron.
Yeah, and there's no more true damage in the meta, no green unit in the meta, everything's just lining up for her.
Ah,
Okay, question. Do we rank those units inside
Yeah,
the
but
pair?
later.
later, at the end, after everyone
Okay.
is placed. So, just a follow-up question: is any one of you guys using Arya without lifesteal?
I used to when I started using her. I think I was like one of the first, if not the first one to use her in TL1. And I used her without lifesteal, and she's totally fine without lifesteal. Honestly, if you win, like if you bring her into a comp, she wins so hard that lifesteal doesn't matter. At least for Guild War.
On Friday, I scouted Midfort with Arya, and I swapped out one of her pieces to get her ER up, and accidentally broke the lifesteal set and didn't notice it. But it was still fine. She's like a really good unit for scouting.
Yeah. Alright. So not even lifesteal.
She's like, she hasn't answered the question, what if SSB was still a good unit?
Yeah, Jelly.
Like, except for instead of harming your team with the damage share, she protects your team and is incredibly tanky as well.
Yeah. Don't do me like that. Poor SSB.
And you can use a lot of different builds or artifacts on her depending on the comp.
That is
Yeah.
also true.
Easily adaptable unit with the same build as well.
Yeah, so. Arya is the first big winner from MLM into mandatory.
Yeah, I mean, I shipped
Yeah.
her long enough.
I think she used to be MLM more because of the fact that the meta was different than to the her kit.
Well,
Yeah.
Hua Young being gone is huge.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Before that, I had to know how fast the Wayang was to bring her in.
Yeah.
so next unit, Green Armin.
Situational, I guess.
Yeah, it's situational for me. He's
Yeah.
like one of 3 solutions to probably the most common and strong meta comp at the moment, which is Lua, Xenia Shu.
Yeah.
It's really hard to rank them on tiers of how good they are because all of them are over 90% comms, but some just have bigger advantage than others depending on how the fight goes. And this character is very prone to debuffs because it's like a damage dealer compared to the others.
I think she's kind of MLM because I think she's the worst solution to that comp, and she's like less consistent because you have to rely on her countering,
I can actually see that.
and even then, like the build people are using is not very standard. Like, see a lot of injury Armin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree on with Deadly.
So the question is MLM, like injury armin seems like an MLM, or is it actually already off meta? That's the other question, but off meta is probably not correct. Like I don't see many other guilds
No.
except for us using green armin for this comp, so might as well like either have TL goggles on or make it realistic. Don't know.
I think she's too reactive. Like she just sits there and waits for Elbrus to prop off.
Yeah.
I mean, off meta would basically mean she is or was good in other scenarios, and I feel like this is already her scenario, just still not great. So
Oh, there were comps in the past where she was a good solution. Basically, when there's a lot of small AoEs, or you can guarantee that other units in the team get targeted, and you can really easily tank them, but you want mitigations. It's kind of like this scenario, like a very specific unit.
I just keep her for now. As I said,
Yeah.
that's the re-rank stuff.
Yeah, I would keep her.
Alright, now we go with Hua Young 2.0.
Okay, question
Yeah.
is, why is she on the list?
I would say Wayang 0.
Yeah,
It's a terrible unit.
no one uses her, she's just bad.
Okay, there's 2 people who use her, and they both agree that she's bad.
really think she had potential, but her damage is just too low.
And she has to hit, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And she requires plus 30 Uberis, which still not everyone has. Without it, she's just
Yeah.
awful.
I mean, now there's just even less reason to have a plus 30 barriers, right? Like, the
Yeah,
main user
actually.
is dead, so.
Yeah, but it's chicken egg situation, and this character is just, I don't know, bad.
I saw her as a bruiser opsig that's like good into Senya, but not enough damage to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She needs some tweaking, definitely. Alright, so I have Acid still here. Is there any comp where he is
Yes.
used?
A lot, actually.
Into Karik,
Yeah.
mostly.
He's a situational unit that is really good when he can be used. And can
It's like RB, basically. The same
Yeah.
tier as RB.
He's like the only unit that fills that role of like sniping a unit, and we're not including Zio in that. 'cause Zio
Yeah,
can't
I
do
think
that
after
alive.
Zio, if Zio's in defense, this character just doesn't exist.
Oh.
It's different. Yeah.
I mean, Zio fills a similar role as Acid, but
Cannot
for
kill.
Guild War, Acid does it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
Zio-
want to. The 50% damage in silence and pushback in Guild War. You just want to win.
Also,
Yeah, yeah.
Zio really doesn't kill, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
fine.
that's his point. That's also the problem of why we don't use him in offense ban
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, but Karik's been popping up more, and
Oh yeah, for
that
sure.
makes Acid better.
Oh, did he?
Carrick struggling.
I still don't have him again after I used him for ML Carrick.
Oh,
Maybe that was a mistake. Whatever. Alright,
Okay.
our
This unit is dog water.
yeah, I don't know why this unit is
Aspermenta
yeah.
Elena. I wanted to have her because we hadn't had ranked her and she was coming out, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the reason I think.
She was coming out, but she's never coming out of the bad tier until she gets buffed. So
Maybe
Make
in
it
the
really
next time
easy.
we do the tier list.
Yeah, maybe.
Inventory.
yeah,
Yeah,
get an
yeah.
Arunka in the team.
I mean, I could definitely see those two getting some use later after a nice buff.
Yeah, an AE for Arunka, for example.
Yeah, NE or 4.
That double hair
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, it's pretty reasonable. It's gonna happen.
Definitely. Alright, moving on. Alots. Anyone still using him?
It's an off meta unit. For me.
He's
Yeah.
That
a
sounds
terrible hero right
But
now.
also off meta because he was used before. That's basically the only definition why I would put him there. But
Yeah.
you could also put him in the bottom outside of the tier list here. Doesn't really matter that unit.
Just too slow. There's no +7 speed. In
Yeah, we need
Guild
to meet Mage Frenzy and Guild War for him.
Yeah.
One EE. Surely he could get an speed EE.
Yeah,
right?
10 speed E. Yeah, that's exactly what the game needs now.
Huh? 10 speed EE and the RTA mage speed buff. Probably still slow, but. Alright, how about the other Armin? Like the other Armin? Bad Cat
MLM.
Armin.
The
There's one
definition
person
of
that uses that unit.
That's
yeah,
the
the
big MLM.
definition of a multi-level marketing scheme.
Okay, tell me, what kind of comp did you guys use her?
No, not you guys. There's one specific person, and
Yeah.
he likes to use a Spirit Iceline, for example, or Charon. So
That. Okay,
We-
that sounds very.
it's the bottom of the MLM for sure.
There is legit one guy.
Oh, I used that once as well.
Serious
But,
bait and
yeah.
makes it front unit counter. That's it.
yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, at least something.
She's here, I guess.
Oh well. Alright. This guy. Does he still have a place somewhere, somehow?
Yeah, off meta.
Yeah,
He-
off meta. I
used
still
to
think
be
he's really
insane.
good, but
The comps that you can bring him to are not existing. Yeah.
He's good
Yeah.
into outdated defenses with like FC
Exactly.
90.
Yeah.
He's good against bad defense. Same as Aper, basically.
Oh, pretty much. Alright. Moving on, BBK, pretty much the same thing as this guy.
Situational for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
situational paired with
recommended.
Because it's literally
Oh.
the comp
Oh,
with those
that's-
two together.
Oh,
right?
recommended. Okay, Deadly.
Oh,
Let's hear you out.
Can we-
Ooh,
Because I don't have a build.
Um,
Yes.
No one else really does what she does, like be able to build ER and then tank a lot of hits and just S3 and wipe their team.
Yeah.
And she's
It's the
useful
same
with a lot
hero as
of,
Arby
like,
then.
I think
mean-
she's better than RB into Rand defenses. Like she's good into the cleave defenses.
Would you scout with her?
We do scout with her.
Okay, would you scout into anything else and run Meru,
Yeah.
Caesarea?
There's only one con. That's
That's why I thought
situational.
it's situational and recommend. Don't think she
I
belongs.
guess not. I
Yeah.
think she's better than RB though.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
The
Because
main
RB can be replaced in that comp with like Rimuru.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Rimuru.
BBK.
It's,
yeah, I can see that.
is
the
clearly
core
better.
of that comp is just Christie, BBK, and then you just flex the third depending on how you feel.
The
Yeah, I
the
mean,
main
it's-
problem.
Hmm?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say like also technically also Ed could replace it because you only need something who removes the skill node, right? Like if you go
If
go
you don't
very
get debuff
down
with
with-
Ed, then you just have it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I mean debuff and stick.
The-
Right?
The main problem I have with BBK is like the main reason why we can use her in scout in the Caesarea comp is because Caesarea pushes, which ensure that she's not gonna take. Wait, actually no, that's a bad taken. But we have a problem with we tried to use her against Adin comp, for example, and we had this problem where she was too fast and she was hitting into invincibility and this kind of things, and this was a problem
It's PvK.
because
really
she
that
had
fast.
potential. No, she was like 100 speed, but that was still too fast, sadly.
Huh.
Because other unit needs to take two turns for the invisibility to fade off.
Yeah.
She had potential against Adin, but she didn't make that.
I mean
Gets
that's
speed buff when she's low. So
Yeah.
oh right.
Yeah.
We have like 15 units sorted in 30 minutes, by the way, just to give you an idea where we are.
Well, I mean
Oh, it's
all
fine.
right.
I mean, I'm having fun, it's okay, I'm just saying it's a long list.
I mean, I have time.
I hope everyone bought sometime.
Yeah.
I think this
Be a
is
bunch
fine
that we can-
because it is basically situational.
Yeah.
there's gonna be a bunch that we can quickly skim over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
true.
It'll
Correct,
speed up
okay.
a little bit.
Alright,
Let's go.
BM haste.
Recommended.
Ah, I would put him in
I
situational.
would like I would technically agree with recommended from the unit itself. It's like who is he actually used against?
As long as Meru is still in the meta and people are putting Holy Sex in their defense, it's a good follow-up unit, but it's not always a good scout unit. But when there's Meru in the defense and they have an opener with like Ran, you can relatively safely scout with BM haste. So both situational and recommended work.
I think it's hard for me to put him above a unit like Alencia because he need the proper setup. And yeah, so for me he fits more into situational than recommended.
That's okay.
He's situational into a very common situation, which is Meru on defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a really good
that is
situation.
true. Well,
He fills his niche and he does it well.
yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so this is fine. I'm noticing a pattern that this one was last time very full actually. But,
Yeah, we're not at the good units here.
yeah, true. Alright.
Also, the defense meta is different. It's very difficult to
Yeah.
recommend something. We will see later.
Maybe there were gonna be like 50 units in situational.
Yeah. Maybe I
Yeah.
just. Alright. The original MLM unit.
Yeah, we should do an MSC.
No one
I
uses him.
think I'm not sure whether she even qualifies for off meta anymore because who are you using her against?
No, I think she never have been meta.
She
Same
was
as-
meta. She was meta before Zaha came out. Long time ago, when we had to fight violets,
Yeah.
people were using her a lot.
Oh yeah, too.
But for me, I will put her outside of the list.
Yeah,
I think
same.
yeah, I would say she isn't.
Because
she's
there was
just
never
not in
like an
there
option where we'd
anymore.
say, well, if I need it, don't have by zero, I can't play the game. Whereas like Alox was a really common option as an
Yeah.
example.
I agree with
Well,
that.
she was used to bait Huayan, and Huayan would keep hitting her. And
I mean,
Huayan's
that's
gone now.
a long time ago. But yeah. Alright. Celine.
bad, I think.
I think
Uh,
she's situational.
She's a follow-up unit. Yeah, in situational.
Yeah.
We have follow-up units in situational, right?
I think she's a bad situational unit. Like she's a situational unit that needs scout to actually be used.
Yeah.
We scout with Celine sometimes.
Yeah, but most of the time
I
that's
mean,
cheating, right?
it's a long time ago, is it?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
If it's
know.
like Lua and then a DPS and like
Yeah,
Shu,
but
for example.
Oh,
Lua
you
can
were
be
saying
high
like in
SI.
SSC shell? Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
but
I think she's still situational.
okay, good
She's
enough.
one of those units that fills a role that no one else really does.
Yeah,
And
it's true. Like
does
Polaris
it
don't
well.
doesn't do the same thing, and Winter's just bad in attack. Okay, moving on.
You can't take Politis into the road. That's
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Polaris doesn't do the same thing. Like, one kills a single target and goes into evasion and does like a two high damage nukes on single target, and the other one just a bit of an AOE, which doesn't really do anything for you.
Yeah.
The evasion is really nice because Shu can't hit her after.
Oh, well, why didn't Tier 1 Celine West Waste Lua deaths then?
Yeah, good
Well.
question. Go next.
Samia. Yeah. Finally, we're filling the perfectly colored tier for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Band TM.
same
Someone want
for
to explain why?
I mean,
Band is like a meme tier.
yeah.
it's a gear check.
That's why we have the TM there, the trademark. So for Samia, it's just really like nobody ever knows. Like even if they say they kill, it's just
It's
do they
the
really
main
kill
effect.
though?
It's the definition of mind kills. Same for Bidam that is coming next. Those are units that suffer gear check based on defense and
Let's
everything.
let's make it quick. Or does someone want to make a
No,
defense?
Zedam is
for
a band here
Zedam?
for me for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Deadly?
Seen comments in the past about CDOM, and people were like, "Oh, this other unit didn't get the attack buff, and CDOM got the attack buff instead, and now I'm screwed on my attack."
Yeah.
It's because she increases her attack when you crit. Gotta read her kit.
Yeah, basically, Sami and Sedum are both like fair weather units where, like, for Sami, you have to know everything about the defense, basically. Let's say there's a Sassy defense with 2 green units, you still have to know how fast the Sassy is.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you bring Elots with her, and the Elots is like 270 for some reason because you put some spare gear on him, and then the Sassy is like 260 because it's like a trap, then you instantly lose just a terrible unit.
Yeah.
Cutting.
Surely
I
that
think for
never
CDOM,
happened.
her role is more as a connector than a nuker because you don't know if you're gonna be able to one-shot a unit.
Yeah.
And she does work for that.
I think you against good defense you rarely can bring Bidam Sidam. Like really rarely.
Yeah.
This season, not really.
Yeah.
Okay, this seems to be quick.
Alright.
Okay.
So
CZ's off meta.
Uh, yeah.
He has been off meta for 2 years. I think,
I think he
it's
don't
time to
exist.
put him to bed.
Yeah. He's
Like,
just
there's no
not,
way I would ever bring him to anything.
He's
If,
just
if
not
someone
a
puts a
good
Cerise defense, okay, look, I agree, but that's
Well,
not gonna be happening.
surely he just needs an EE too, right?
Yeah, in EE, where he gets violin on SS2.
yeah, he's just bad.
Inca's favorite unit.
Yeah.
I mean, to be like that. Alright. Chaos Inquisitor.
Yeah, grass at home.
I mean, he used to be MLM. I don't see. I think he just doesn't exist anymore. He used to be okay against Kise and everything. Now he's just bad. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a reason to use him anymore. Really?
Maybe
Yeah,
later.
no DPS and defense that really like. Okay, Shu exists, right? But I'm not
I
sure. if it's
feel
a good
like Shu
idea.
is just going to murder him.
Yeah.
Alright. Charlotte. I think
Situation
her days are over.
I don't think so. I think she's still usable. Rarely, but I would
Also
still
gets
put her
outdated
in
defenses
Signature.
though. It's like the landy defenses and everything. No,
I feel like the defenses we used
This
to
unit
use
is off
her
meta.
just gone. So
this unit is
Yeah,
off
I
meta. No
guess.
green units in defense. This unit is off meta for me.
Alright, that's fair.
She's not as good as any of them though.
I think Charlotte and Carrot are sort of interchangeable as like a
Yeah.
tanky red DPS,
yeah.
but there's not that many comps that you want a tanky red DPS for.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Like they are still
Usually,
good.
if you need one, it's gonna be Ed.
Yeah, it's true.
That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Sure.
Ooh.
Big
Wow.
question mark in offense.
MLM?
This is the reason why we lost against TL2. Just wanna say that.
Wait,
I
You
what?
want to ban her for that?
I think it just.
I would like to ban her for that. It's a terrible unit in offense.
Yeah, we could.
But on the other hand, we always wanted a blue bruiser for offense, and now we got one. But there's no fire units you want to use her into in defense anymore. So just end.
I mean,
We
at
have
the same
another
time,
one.
it's like,
We have
isn't
another
this
one.
our booster unit?
Yeah, yeah. I
So-
mean, that's what we always wanted. I mean, Arya got buffed, and we got to use her more. So just banned.
Yeah, carry.
Well, one of the best defense units. Banned
Please,
in
Ava.
offense.
Be civil.
Alright. Right.
Christy.
Oh,
I mean,
this unit is recommended.
Oh, really? Nice. Glad to see this. Glad to hear this. Yeah.
oh,
I really hate this unit. This unit is not very pretty, which shouldn't be a deciding factor, right? But what she does is very unique and very strong, especially in this meta.
Yeah.
So it's a usable unit.
Your
Most of the
neighbor.
time-
From you.
Most of the time, you use her. She basically fight 2 versus 3, right? Because she's like a big imprint for the unit she's protecting. But if this big unit is a unit that can win the match, let's say Arya, for example, this is a really good unit.
Yeah,
That is
she
true.
enable another unit, and she unforced. She's a really good support. Basically, she bring Aureus. She bring Night Artifact. She bring Effect Resistance, which means your other unit, which is usually a bait, can have more stats and do other things, which usually solo the match.
Okay.
I think that's a reasonable take.
I still won't build her.
I mean, that's a different thing
That's,
altogether.
Does anyone disagree, like Immortal or Deadly? What do you think?
I don't disagree. I just didn't expect that from you.
Ha!
Yeah,
Honestly, I was very
Expect
surprised.
the
too.
unexpected. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
All right.
I mean, I agree with it. She has more uses outside of like the BBK comp. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cherry.
All right.
She's pretty budget too. Like no molas.
And that
I
is
use
a
her
big
level
part.
50.
That is a very big part. Like, since she already is just a big imprint, like, what's the investment you need for a big imprint?
and her imprint even helps herself, right?
Yeah.
More effect res.
It's also defense abilities, which is really strong. Like I use her more in her release imprint than in her focus imprint.
All right.
It's like
Yeah.
48 defense, if I remember well.
So, our first cleave unit?
Yeah, I think you can put the next 2 into the same tier.
Oh, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. For me, well, let's start with Acid. With Sid. I think he's just a good unit thanks to the imprint. The directional. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sid is probably the unit that can use with Ara, with Edda and Terra,
Yeah.
and cleave some shit, and that's it. But like closer's just in.
Yeah,
I think he's
Closer
been
is
the
dead.
most used imprint this season.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I
And
see.
Closer is dead. Closer
Yeah, closer's then.
is dead. Pavel, I think.
Wait.
Keyboard
No,
is-
it's not.
You're
It's
going
not the
too
Higashi's
fast.
to the list. Yeah.
Yeah, too. Sorry.
No, this unit out of the list. Just put closer gone. Please. None of those.
Wait, did you guys
This
know?
unit is banned.
Oh, banned?
This unit is banned.
What did he do to you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This unit is
I
banned.
mean, I can see why he's banned, but do tell why he's banned.
He
He's
don't
banned.
have damage. Basically, he don't have enough damage.
Out of the banned ones, so far he's the best one and most
Yeah.
usable, but he still suffers from the mind kills problem.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we look at this, it's basically he's a combination of these two in a way.
Honestly, this band here is more of a mind kill Steve.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much is that.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So, Sea Lilias.
Last time she wasn't
What?
banned. This time I will put her in banned.
I have an argument for it. Sililius and MLM.
All right,
Um,
go for it.
Used her one time, okay?
no, there's a unit that we're gonna get to that is like completely self-sufficient in terms of providing like cleanse and attack buff, and the only way to amplify his damage further is Sililius, and in those comps with that unit that we're gonna get to, I think she's like pretty usable as an MLM.
I can see it, but my big question would be: does it make sense to use that comp to buff him with her? Because like,
Is this
her
like the
buff
anime
is
angle
really
where we
not
don't
that
name the
much.
other character? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get to him.
Ah,
I know
him.
exactly which
Yeah,
one.
the
You're
protagonist.
gonna,
Mm.
I can put her there first. Hey, who would
Okay, we
have-
can discuss later.
Like
Who would've
she's not
thought?
usable for cleaving like as an Ida setup. She's usable
He's way
to
too slow, yeah.
basically
Yeah.
give attack buff to a different unit.
Okay.
Oh. So, third Armin.
I mean,
What?
last time we put it in Bandia, but people still used him. Now people don't use him, so either banned or remove him from the list.
Yeah, I think
Or her,
she,
whatever.
I don't think she's used, so...
it's been a while since she isn't used anymore.
Yeah.
Alright.
She's like a green army, but doesn't do anything else.
Yep.
Okay. So, an old fellow, a very talentless fellow.
Mandatory instantly.
I'm gonna say recommended, but you can go with
Really?
Military if you want to. Yeah.
Ah,
I
okay,
think,
that's
I
it.
think he's now starting to fall off.
I can see him falling off right now because
I think-
of the whole lure things running around everywhere. But at the same time, it's like, he's still a unit. I still think you should have him.
Yeah.
I think Hika made an argument like a season ago that it wasn't DC that was the strong unit, it was Destina.
Yeah.
And I think outside of that shell with Iseria Destina, he's like not great. And into Lua, he's like not great either.
That is true.
He's good into Sililius, but that's starting to fall off.
It's like 15 units that are good in Sililius. Basically.
Yeah. But I feel
Although-
like
That's why I'm saying recommended for me is the correct here. I think he's the best recommended unit for sure. Like it's probably not gonna be a better one, but he's for me he's not mandatory at the moment.
People I feel are kind of trying to build their defense to prevent him from being used.
I mean, makes sense, right? Like, whenever a defense can be defeated by a DC or like a common DC, it's like, well, doesn't sound like a good defense.
yeah, that's true. Okay. I think recommended makes sense.
Like I've gotten away with no DC. And
Even
I
when he
know there are
was
some
stronger.
comps that I dodge, but
Yeah.
it's okay to not have them.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean that's same as Holy Sacrifice.
Okay.
Doesn't change that Holy Sacrifice is a good artifact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get
He's a
it.
good unit, but he's not. If you don't have him at this moment in time, I think you can be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It depends on how, like, it really depends on who you're facing. If you're facing a top 30 guild, this unit is in mandatory tier. If you're facing a unit that's trying for top 3, this unit is recommended.
Less. Yeah. Okay. I agree.
The best comp he's good into is like Sililius Shu +1, and that fell off this season.
Yeah. Because Lua is just better than Sililius.
Yeah, Lua is just. Yeah. Alright, moving on. DJ Bazaar. Desert Jeffel Bazaar.
I think this is a good point that T-Cops brings up. Everyone who tries to craft a defense needs to take into account how to not get Dark Harvest. This is a very important part, though.
Yeah.
He's meta defining for sure.
He's pretty much the first thing you think about is like don't get deceived, and the second one is basically don't get cleaved. I think
Yeah.
that's the two common routes to make a good defense. Or
That's why-
a useful defense.
But this means if you have him in your roster, it's good, so it's recommended. But it's
Yeah.
not like if without him, you will not have that much fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Alright.
Great.
So, DJB,
DJB,
MLM. Off
not
meta?
MLM, but
It's off meta.
I think he disappeared. Yeah.
I'd say situational, but Para fell off.
I
So
think Para fell off so hard that he
Also
is just off
against
meta.
Para, Ed is so much better.
Yeah, Ed exists for Payra, so
This unit is off meta for me.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he have no use anymore for now.
Hey, is it
Yeah, behind Arabi, for sure.
Alright. So,
Both Bazaars.
Dillybed.
Bad.
You guys can decide on this, but I have a pretty clear opinion on this unit.
Yeah, I think we both have the same opinion.
I don't have any opinion on her, so.
Either, in my opinion, either off meta or banned, just because number one, you're relying on getting debuffed, which is the same thing as relying on you debuffing your opponent.
That is
Yeah.
true.
And I mean, the other thing, Ed exists, and she's just a dark bruiser. Outside of that push and whatnot, what else does she offer you?
Yeah.
I can see that. So,
You can pick another unit there instead.
so are we nice and give her off meta?
No,
I'd say
no.
banned. Like,
Banned.
she would only be good into Ran, but if you don't get enough debuffs on your team, then you die to Ran.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
banned unit for sure.
I think
Everything
she-
that's random doesn't work. There's much better
Definitely-
units that do the job.
Yeah, I can see
Did-
that.
She definitely has a kid that is baiting you in thinking you're safe, and then doesn't work and you lose. So
Yep.
that-
Yeah. That's a big
Yep.
issue, actually.
Fine.
Alright. Destina, the great
Oh, that
For
is
me,
so
it's the
Queen
third
Weaver.
best def unit, the third best unit in the game right now. in
I
the
think so
Guild War.
too. I agree.
I think
Think
after
anyone will
buff, she just
disagree?
got a lot of things, so.
I think, yeah.
Wait, I'd put her above Aras and.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
starting
yeah.
later.
We're shuffling
We are starting
later,
later.
just- Like,
But-
just those who are, like, very clear
Yeah.
if we do earlier. Alright.
Okay.
I'm having.
We have one Eaton guy, and that guy doesn't believe in Eaton anymore, so
Oh,
just outside of. No, just remove him to Crimson Armin. Yeah, where he belongs.
alright. Ida. Cleave
Uh,
unit.
I still think she's recommended because there's no unit that does that.
Yeah,
And,
I agree.
That is
like,
true.
we still cleave on Scout with Ida.
Yeah.
Yes, true.
I think if you wanna cleave, she's the best in slot.
Yeah.
Most of the
Yep.
time.
I mean, do you actually cleave with anything else than her, anyway?
No,
Yes.
Pablo's dead, so no.
I think the acid comp
I
usually where you wanna cut.
Yeah, I guess, but is that really cleave in the cleave way?
I don't know.
And I think I brought this up last time, but like most of our defenses will try not to like instantly die to Ida cleave, and we still get Ida cleaved. So like
Sometimes, yeah.
Alright.
So yeah,
So,
Yeah.
continuing, Ed.
I will go
What?
last on this one.
That's tricky. I would say. Oh no, I'm gonna pass for now.
I think he's mandatory.
I agree.
I think yeah, it makes sense because it's similar ID to last, right? It's like
Imagine getting a bruiser that you can't debuff, and if you do, you die.
yeah,
And all the units that punish him have gone away. Like
Ah,
Wai
The
Young?
openers are blue,
Yeah.
so they target him.
yeah.
Yeah. Just insane unit right now.
I think
can see
Ed and Ras are that high, not really because of their kit, but
No, Ed is
maybe
because
I
of
mean,
of
Ed
the
is definitely his kid.
If he wasn't fire, he would be worse for sure. Like if he was green
Yeah.
unit, he would be worse. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's the idea.
But since he is fire, we have to rate him like he's fire, and that's why he's mandatory.
Yeah.
He kind of single-handedly removed Para from the meta.
The only reason why I'm not happy with him is because I failed hard with him. But oh well, that's more.
Early on in the season, I don't think people really knew how to use him, and we were taking him to Hyang and losing because he provokes Hyang.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now we have a better idea and
Yeah, I
better
mean,
builds on Ed. So
you just have to know what you actually want to do with him. Like, if there's a chance that his provokes or anything is just going to make it harder for you.
Yeah.
Like, he's a unit that feels consistent, even though there's some inconsistency with him getting debuffed and the debuffs that he sends
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, because if you don't get debuff, this means he can play anyway. So
Yeah.
I guess that's fine.
Alright, I can live with that. So, Elena. MLM?
Okay.
Off metal?
Situational.
I think she's
Situational?
situational. But she's in the same comp. No, she's countering the same comp that RB Christie, BBK
Yeah,
counters. And
that-
as long as
that
this
is
comp is
true.
there, she's okay.
It's
She's
not
just a filler.
safe.
She's a filler unit basically for me.
If I remember well, she's not safe because of fan.
Yeah.
Deadly can correct me on this.
Spatio temporal. Yeah, I agree. Maybe it's a reason.
So maybe it's MLM instead.
Her S3 does damage, so it breaks the stuff.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
There's an attack.
So, situational?
She's similar to BBK in that
Like, it's
She's
pretty
good
much
into
the
clean
same
defenses.
thing, right?
Yeah. Okay. Don't want to talk too much about this unit, to be honest. Because we barely use her, and the only guy
Yeah.
user is not here.
Yeah.
Okay. Elfeld, I just want her off the list to get this over quicker. The next
Yeah.
unit is more interesting.
Emilia. I remember
Emilia is off meta.
we had
Emilia
her
is off meta
mandatory
for sure,
before.
yeah.
He was one of the best units in the game in Guild War for a moment, but now she's just fell off.
Yeah.
she got kind of replaced by B-Dom against Celilius.
Yeah.
And
There
by
doesn't really
Justina.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's bad into Lua and Ran.
Yeah.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, question. Why is Hermalen even on the list?
Look.
We have
He's
people
not
who
even-
want to discuss him.
Yeah, no, but
No.
he's not good anymore. Even like Bruff says that this meta is not at all. It doesn't work.
Well, that's all I wanted to hear.
Even
Couldn't
with
quote
Wayang
anymore.
gone, it's just too much crap in the meta for him.
Yeah.
Can you scroll down a little bit so we don't see Triumph season, but you see the
Oh, sure.
bottom tier?
Yeah.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Flurry, off
Off
meta,
meta.
not used.
Meta. The comp she got used in was a Wayang comp.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
she
still,
was,
she used to be a meta unit for a
she
long
was
time.
so good in the meta.
Like,
that
she could
I
still
think
be
it
useful
was
for something, just not now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly.
FCC, any reason to?
The situation.
MLM. I
What?
would put her on MLM because of the Senya comp, honestly.
Senya, come.
Is this
She's
MLM?
really good into Lua because
Yeah,
you
I
can
agree.
bring 2 green units. And
I would also going to
yeah.
almost going to recommend it. That's how good she is for me.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Really?
that's good. My bad.
It's we're making a meta cut out, so
true.
it depends.
I can see it, but I just haven't
You don't want to use
seen
it to
anyone
like
use
wait.
FCC. That's why.
Yeah,
the
I
only
really don't
reason
want
I'd
to.
say not recommended is because she can be replaced by protection set. But
Yeah.
she's really good right now.
That's true.
And there's better dark tanks that also come later.
So,
I think, yeah, the only reason she isn't in recommended is, yeah, as Daddy said, and I think everyone can get it, right? You can get a replacement, but just by farming them, so.
Yeah.
we are in
Okay.
situational or recommended?
Situation.
Situational.
Yeah. Alright. So, this is one of my favorite units, so I would always want to put in mandatory, but I just don't see it.
I'm the
Completely?
same. Like, I really love this unit, so I will put her in recommended, but I can understand if others put her in situational.
I would put her in recommended.
I would put an off meta.
Damn, that's
Off
good.
meta?
That unit's bad.
Ah,
Ishido.
I mean, we're 3 on recommended, so technically, Immortal, what do you think?
I personally think she's either recommended or situational.
Let's go.
You just need like really, really bulky stats.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And I personally think like I've seen a lot of like just checking the last guild war from the previous guild. A lot of people were bringing like triple green into the Lua Senya shoe and just losing with that. And that's I think if you have a really good fighter Maya there, that works a lot better than triple green.
Yeah, clearly.
And she can't get debuffed. Like, there's always an argument for her. Like,
That's
she's
the
one of my
main
favorite
reason.
units of all time. For sure. But I think at the moment, she can be put into any of these 3 tiers and be fine.
Yeah.
so.
I think Ed kind of does her job better.
Yeah, that's why she's higher, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it and see.
I really
Yeah.
want a situation, but okay, let's go. Let's double save this for now
Yeah.
and move on.
Alright, Flan.
This unit is dead.
Dead.
Just put her next to Alots.
Oh,
It's
I
the
would
same
not.
thing.
She was never in the meta.
No,
Alots was
I
really
don't,
good.
yeah.
That
I
unit is just
don't see
bad.
another meta either.
Yeah.
She's not.
No.
This guy. looks a bit more like he
No,
was, but it's
also
been
also
a
dead
long
at the
time.
moment. No,
so-
just remove him.
Either dead or MLM, but I think he's dead. Yeah.
Meta
I
then?
use him a lot, but I'm the only one, and that's
Did
because
you
of
say
him.
mandatory that?
No, is he off meta?
No.
I was thinking of meta personally, but it's been a while since he's been off meta, so it's like, yeah.
But we've been using him from time to time. Even last last guild war we used him.
I scouted the stronghold with him.
Yeah.
But I think okay, wait. Okay, hot take. I'm gonna remove him from this tier and we're gonna put him into F of meta or MLM, from my opinion, because I think a fastest GP can be a really good solution to Zeo comms.
Makes sense.
That sounds spicy. I'm fine with off meta.
Yeah, off meta is probably the correct place at
Because
the moment.
he's technically is off meta. It's been a while since he's moved into off meta.
Yeah, I think so. But
favorite
MLM
part-
would also be okay.
My favorite part of G-Perg is when people write reports with him and go,
Yeah.
"Oh, I was pushed maybe one time, maybe two times. I don't know."
I don't
You
know
can
how
never get
it
an accurate
works.
speed because of that.
Okay, good report, take the speed instantly.
Well,
Okay,
So, is she
the next
used
3 units for
anything?
me can all go off the list, but you guys can say what you want about them.
Is Gloomy Realm still used
I
for
think-
anything?
No,
Don't think so.
Not really.
Not really.
Speed, that's it.
no, not used.
No.
No.
Guys, that's just not a Guild War unit, and Judge Keys is. No.
It's just because Pavo is really hard to use right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
true. Alright. Hazel.
I think it's banned for me.
Oof.
I know.
What?
I
How
think
did
it's
that
banned.
happen?
This unit is a definition of an MLM for me.
Yeah.
I would say MLM, like big time MLM.
For me, it's an MLM, but a bad MLM because there is other alternatives that are better than her.
That's the definition of an okay.
I feel
Yeah,
like
maybe.
that's-
Yeah. Yeah, but, people actually lose with her, thinking she's good. That's my problem.
No,
I
like
think she's
the,
really bad, but I would put her in MLM.
the thing is, like MLM, it can like band is just like. I feel like there's a clear difference between the MLM and the band unit, and
Yeah,
I
but-
don't see Hazel being in the band thing.
Okay, how I see band is that they are units that people think it's good, but they don't do their job. And I think that's exactly the case for us. So. But that's my opinion. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine keeping MLM.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I'd still just keep on MLM. Because...
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fair.
Alright, Holiday Euphine. I don't think she has a place.
Can the two next
No.
units also go off the list?
Wyong is off meta, I guess.
Okay, off meta is fair, right?
Yeah.
There's a chance she can come back if everyone runs 35k HP units in a defense.
Yeah.
Poor Young. Alright. This guy.
Okay.
Damn.
You too.
Instantly, man.
Is there any reason why he might have fallen off?
No.
His killing potential is going down, and he can't bring him into as many comps anymore. Like when you think about openers with Shu and Senya together, he's really hard to use because he can take some punishment, but not all of it, and he can't one-shot every of these units.
Like, doesn't sound.
So
a
for
bit
me,
like
it's the
DC.
same case as Dark Covers at the
Like,
moment.
he
but
should be next to him in that case.
maybe
Especially-
other people have different opinions. Like
Yeah.
I think
I-
he's still mandatory because Dark Corvus fell off a bit because Sivilius is not as meta, but Ran is still meta, and Kawazu is good into that.
I can see that, though.
Yeah, and I don't think we should judge Kawazu by the fact that he don't one-shot Senya, for example. Because even if he don't one-shot him, even if he don't one-shot her, I don't think it's her job. It's his job. He can just like stand here, strip her buff instantly when she has 3, and just do this over and over again until
Okay.
she dies.
I can agree with that. Like I'm totally liking this character. Don't worry.
He's still good. There's still a lot of AoE in the meta.
Yeah,
My
that's true.
one concern is, to some extent, Light Aiden.
Yeah.
Because he's not great into her, but into stuff like Zeo, I think he has potential to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they use an
One
AoE
shot
as well.
that guy.
Let's see.
Okay, this is gonna be my last take about him. But I use him a lot against Adin because he stripped the invincibility, and he is also a bait for her, and you cannot kill him if there is always fast proof.
No?
as far as I use him.
Yeah. This character is one of these characters that requires a very specific setup. There's fast Kawazu, slow Kawazu, tanky Kawazu, damage Kawazu. He can be played in very different ways. That's why I think due to his versatility, he's very hard to use, but when you use him, he's really good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true. I can see that. I can see that.
Like he's not not a slot and go basically. I see
Oh.
some paper Kawazus that run like 12k HP, 1.1k defense. I wonder how they're dying. I mean, yeah. If you
Well,
make a character that you need to win the game with as tanky as Remnant Violet on lifesteal set, then it's your problem.
Yeah.
Well. Alright, moving on. Isaria. And
Definition of situational, right?
No.
No, wait.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I think it is situational.
Yeah, with Elena at the bottom,
Yeah.
there's one comp, and the comp
Yeah.
is just sliding down a bit.
Yeah, I'd say that's it. Because it's not MLM. We know it works. It's just.
Yeah, she's not an M&M, and yeah, it's just one comp. So.
So I don't think anyone used Kaon in attack.
Yeah, that's
I just
not
have him here still because I haven't
Yeah, it's
removed
nice.
Mode
He's a nice
Firestar.
picture and everything.
Edgy boy.
Alright.
He's good for baiting people into thinking he's baiting a blue unit, but he gets like stripped by Ran and dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very sad. Oh, well. Alright. The big boy. The big guy with a horse. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think,
think
he.
he's fallen off this season.
Yeah.
There's
If I
no
wa-
Rimuru anymore.
Yeah, I
The-
think he's recommended probably.
The same arguments we made for other heroes before. It's not no green units in defense at the moment.
Yeah.
He's with Dark Corvus together there, but he's not the best unit in the game.
The
Indeed.
two
Oh,
big
yeah.
HP buddies.
Pretty weird to see that he's not top tier anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them.
Man. Things
But
change.
the meta is very debuff heavy, and like there's bruises that are very tanky. It's not like something that he likes to want at half HP, right? Basically, back then you could go to half HP and kill something, which is nice.
Yeah.
feel like-
It's really iffy now to just think, yeah, that I definitely kill or something. It's like,
See him use more on Orius now, just
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
mitigate damage in that horse, because
Yeah.
there's no one hitting into him.
Yeah, I feel like if Maya, Ko, and Yulha have the similar role in this meta, which is like take every damage and
just take
mitigate
damage
every
from other
damage,
units.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can get debuff in fight, Moya can't. So there's an argument in this role that she's bad.
Even Yoha has her self cleanse, and Kyle
Yeah.
doesn't.
I mean, everyone have pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
If Maya
Exactly.
have less damage.
That's why he's
than Ko-
recommended, not a mandatory.
Yeah.
It's really sad to see him there, though.
He's like top of recommended though.
Oh.
Yeah, together with DC. I
Yeah.
agree.
Alright.
Okay.
Moving
Oh,
on.
look.
Landy, a unit that
She
caused
can-
some discussion.
Yeah.
Fly directly into the guarantee and we go next.
We talked about her being off meta, right? She has a
Yeah.
good
Okay.
kit, just not good in this meta anymore.
Yeah.
I
I
it's
think-
an old love meta.
Like, it's
yeah.
pretty much the reason why we created that, like, initially, so.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
Alright. LRK.
Off meta.
Situational.
Ah.
Also, two very
But
different
almost
cards.
MLM.
Ah.
I would
No.
go. I personally, it's MLM for me, but I just don't have him anyway, so I
Deadly.
can't really judge it.
Imo, what
I
do you
think it's
think? You
mostly
two.
been me pushing LRK into
Oh,
Senia.
Imo has been using it for like a season already. In his weird
Mine-
trace comp.
My comp is very unique and probably could replace LRK with any light tank. I used him though because of the possibility. The comp in particular is like opener, Apoc Robbie, Seaside Assyria. And you run the LRK on Bastion of Perlucia to protect the strays to one shot.
Wow.
The APOC. And the reason that I ran LRK was if the APOC was on Proof of Valor, you could run the strays slower than the LRK and use the S3 to knock one stack off the Proof of Valor.
He's a
Um,
unit that likes to flex. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Because it doesn't exist anymore.
yeah, the defense doesn't exist anymore.
So-
So maybe
I
off
think-
meta then.
I think he's off meta. He used to be so good, like with the double crow offense. That
I mean,
used to be
that's
his
also
star.
a long time ago by now.
Yeah.
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 The way I use him is into Meru Senia because he gives immunity and then Meru charges up his S3, and you can bring like double mitigation plus Rana into that.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you can
But-
see it, but like, how often do you see that?
Yeah, I feel
Difference.
like this is same as APOC, right? It's a unit that work against bad defense.
Is it really a bad defense though?
Maybe
No,
it's-
It's
maybe
like
it's
all
a-
meta units, like Shu, Senya, Meru. I would put him in MLM at least.
Oh yeah,
I can
sure.
live with MLM too.
Okay,
Sure.
I can understand. Yeah,
Alright.
I use that comp on Friday.
yeah, that's true.
alright. So, moving on. The second Fire Knight
Yeah,
5-star
but
unit.
we don't use her, so I don't have an opinion.
I think that's her whole definition, right? The second Fire Knight, and we don't need her to be honest. That's how I see it.
Yeah, but just at the bottom of the tier, when we use her, we just gear her and use her, and because nowhere I would recommend her to anyone.
Yeah, Johnny.
Off meta?
If someone pulls her now, no, just don't. She was-
No.
Just completely removed.
It's too long ago, and the comp she was also replaceable with Raz.
That is
Yeah.
true. Alright. So she's gone.
Oh,
Now we have someone. Lionheart Thermia. Go for it.
okay. Lionheart Thermia is one of the best RTA units in the game.
Yeah,
I will also say it's one of the units that is most prone to dumb user error. Somehow, because the unit is very simple, but people are very confident with her, and that's her downfall.
yeah.
She's a very good unit. Like if I would put a rating on my personal scale, when I use her, I would recommend her. But since everyone else is using her as well, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's my opinion as well.
I think she's a very gear check unit.
Yeah.
But people take her into defenses that don't have guaranteed counters, and she has a chance of dying. She can also die to Shu. But into like most C. Lilius defenses and into Senya, I think she's pretty good. And the comp you take her into is like basically auto. So there's no real room for user error. It's mostly gear check.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how bulky you can make it. I mean, I personally recommend her, but I always look at people's defense stat on that. And
Yeah.
you need to make sure that she's gonna live
Yeah.
because it can get dicey at times.
So,
Yeah,
She's
we
used
all
a lot. I wouldn't say she's recommended.
He's situational, right?
I mean, like,
I would put her in recommended.
her whole
Ah,
kit
okay.
is technically situational.
She's really good. The reason why we are we kind of want her to put her situational is because a lot of people trust her a bit too much.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Like hit wise, she is recommended for me.
Yeah, for sure.
She
I can see
fills
that.
a gap that no other unit can replace.
Yeah, I
That
agree.
is
It's
true.
good.
Alright. So, here we have another addition for
Bennett.
Yeah,
the
these
web-
two units can all go to the. Oh yeah, okay, this one Ben and this. Yeah, this is just not a unit.
When I'm deadly,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
what I
Deadly,
Okay.
it's your time.
Yes.
There is a Lua MLM comp that I haven't gotten to put into use yet, but
yeah.
Okay.
for now she can be
Okay.
in that tier.
Yeah.
Do you
think
want to
there is
explain
potential.
it though?
One time it's gonna
Not yet,
use-
please. Not yet. It's too difficult.
We'll save it for next time.
Alright.
Oh,
So,
I think she's good, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
it's very MLM still.
Yeah.
You have a really good Sultan,
Alright.
basically. That's pretty much it.
so I hope nobody has something to say about this.
Oh, that's
No.
mandatory.
Because
Mandatory, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
she will
fine.
always have that place basically, because
I don't
who's
know.
going to replace
I don't know about
her?
always, but
I mean, I guess true. Like the always was with like Quao and DC too, and it's like I mean.
But
Quao
she's
exists.
insanely good.
But currently, it's definitely still there.
also the reason why Luna isn't banned here, by the way, for all the viewers, is because people don't know what EEs are and how to swap them.
People use their Expo Luna for Guild War. That
Yeah.
doesn't
Sad
work.
life.
Yeah, you need the reset or the extra turn when you kill a target.
Yeah.
It's
You need
prevent
to
dumb
make sure you
user
actually
error
kill that
ban.
target.
I mean, she's also a 9-kill unit, so
Yeah, like it's double layered. All right. Anyone using Maid Chloe for anything?
no, I don't think
No. And also she's not off meta, she's just off the list for me.
So. Yeah, she doesn't exist.
Time has passed.
Someone want to
She's-
sell an
RTA, but
American MLM?
He used to be MLM, I think, and now he just doesn't exist anymore.
He used-
think
I
he's
think-
banned
Yeah, he's banned.
Oh, Band is nice. I like Band.
because there's always a chance they don't have 100 crit, and then they
Yeah,
they get
that
and he
is
doesn't
true.
counter.
We can talk about this for Celine as well, but it's gonna be later.
Alright, Hazel. Anyone want to
Selena is different because she doesn't die right away, and she baits dark units, which is better than Emoken baiting
Yeah.
light units.
Okay, Hazel's gone.
What? Why is
Nobody,
Hazel here?
nobody wants to sell an MLM with her? Alright, fine.
The MM doesn't exist.
Sorry.
Alright. Mediator Caverick. I feel like his biggest
Secret.
partner just died.
Yeah,
He's
his best friend died.
he's only safe answer for one comp, so I would say situational.
Yeah, situational for me as well.
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's not that good in Tulua or Ran,
Yeah.
and Para fell off.
And his best friend was Voyang, basically. Like, if there was another tanky, really good attack scaling unit, then we could use. Like, you look at the top tiers, right? Except for Kawazu. No, and Kawazu tuning with him is very difficult.
Yeah,
often,
Yeah,
so
that's
very
true.
hard.
yep.
Actually.
you-
Like, basically what he needs is a Wunker to actually be Huayang 2.0 to even have a place again in the higher
Yeah.
tiers.
Oh,
But that's just not happening. So,
I think looking at this list right now, that we're like almost like halfway through, maybe halfway through, it seems that we are very limited in what units we would recommend for the season, which
yeah.
might open up or not. But I think it reflects very clearly where we're currently going.
Yeah, I think it's just harder overall.
Yeah.
There are a lot of units that aren't 100%, that's why we even put them on recommended.
I mean, it's really just like Huayang was our answer to like almost any comp in a way. Like she could be used in a very high amount of comps, where it's just
Yeah.
like she deletes
Yeah.
at least one unit and probably the rest of the team too. But
Yeah, Young was just a ridiculous hero, and he was her best friend. Like, that's it. And let's move on.
I think Lua is also a very restrictive unit. There aren't
Yeah.
that many
Yeah.
safe units that you can take into her.
like basically when Power came out.
Yeah.
Alright, Meru.
No.
Anyone having an MLM?
No.
She used to be situational, but now it's not used anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
she used to be a good holy sac replacement, but that doesn't.
That
that's
seems
not
like a
needed
very
anymore.
use-specific
She used to be a book holder. She used to be a book
Yeah,
holder
that was
with.
fast.
Anyone selling something for Milim?
The units or defense that she counters don't exist. If people use Winter more, she might be good. So it's really hard to say anything. I would put her in off meta. That's it.
I think off meta makes sense because
Situational still.
I would
Situation
put
is
her
also
situational.
situation
She-
also.
She forces you when you build defense. She's actually a real pain to play around, and you have to keep her in mind every time you build defense. So I think
fine.
situational is okay.
Like
That's fine.
whenever Landy pops up, Milim exists. And
Yeah.
That is true.
She's-
That is true.
She's decent into Meru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both of them are like good defense units. So.
Alright. So,
Oh lord.
Bunny Dom. Yeah,
Situational as well.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yeah.
makes sense.
There's one unit that she counters, and we talked about this earlier, right? Like Celilis has like 15 counters. This is one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
It for Celilis defense, it really depends on who she's paired with, and if she's paired with specific units, you can even scout with Bidom
Oh,
most
Dark
of the
Horse.
time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, or Dark Horse, exactly.
It's
So-
you cannot make a Lilia's defense that doesn't lose to either Dark Horse or Bidom, I feel.
Yeah. Alright.
Which is a very good follow-up unit.
Yeah,
That's
just
true.
lose.
That's definitely true. Alright. Opsic.
Off
Bad.
sick, off meta sick.
I
Oh,
really
bad.
feel
So
like
bad.
it's very sad, but it's just exactly her place.
There's
Like,
this word joke. I just saw the word off meta rate or sick, right?
Time has passed. She's still very good, but
I mean,
Hey,
a lot of tough.
Why
Huayang
niche is
is
not
also
required,
just
yeah.
gone. So,
She's also
Yeah,
really
they're
bad
so
into the
hard.
stuff like Lua and shit. Like, it's a terrible unit at the moment.
yeah.
Since
Alright.
Para's gone. Okay.
So, Pavel.
Pavel is off meta.
Off meta? Because, like, what can you actually use him right now?
He just doesn't kill like Shu or
Anything.
Senya. Yeah.
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 And it's true, if the Senya's on Holy Sec, you can just top Ryan. So,
I think the defense units are too tanky for him to be able to
yeah.
Yeah.
do his job.
Alright.
Imagine
Power-
needing to quit. Thanks.
Power we had for the cleave stuff before.
Put her next to Ida. The
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
go together.
Yeah.
Still recommended.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
think. Not recommended, I think. Right?
Yeah, for sure. 129 speed. How else do you
Oh, yeah,
replace
yeah,
this?
my bad,
And she has
yeah.
escort's really strong.
Yeah, no.
Best unit to pair with Ida, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Politis?
That's
a
I think
That
she's
unit
off
is-
meta.
Yeah, she.
Was she
no.
ever meta? She's
No.
For me, she's off the list or banned. Really bad unit.
I would say either MLM or doesn't exist, and there is no MLM with her, so I would just say doesn't
I
exist.
know
Yeah.
there were a couple of people that were using her earlier in the season on just like omega high damage, just whenever someone used an S2 just to kill like 2 squishy units. But
Yeah, it was Braver with the full damage Politis, but this is like very specific. And
That also is more
for unit to be MLM, I think the unit has to be like fun or enjoyable to use, and this unit is not fun or enjoyable to use. This unit is just
The thing
pure
is, like,
power.
I feel like this is the point where you use the full damage Politis, who does that job of killing stuff. It's like, is that really a good defense in the first place?
Yeah.
Like,
She's
can't
so
can't
bad
Arby
into
do
the
the
mud.
same thing in that case?
Like if she wasn't red, she would be usable in Tulua, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, alright. So, when just
Ren is the
Yeah.
same as Pyrrha, but more offensive.
Yeah.
So more
I think
risky.
you match this core.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think Para is better in most situations, but Ran has
Hera's
one
better
more-
into squishies that you think about that they're gonna counter you like Marrow, where you can take like one hit. And Ran is better into tanks, like if
Yeah.
you wanna cleave a Ravi or some shit like that.
Yeah.
He's
think
less
so.
consistent, but like one base speed faster.
They're both
He-
129.
Para's 128.
How sure are you?
I'm very sure about that.
100%. I use him a lot.
He's a cleaver, I mean.
I am very sure about that. one.
Okay, you're correct. I give you that.
He
I don't
does
know.
damage, which is something Para doesn't do.
Yeah.
So like even if all your units get countered, he still has potential to win.
The whole time I thought he was 129. See,
Or
no
like,
wonder I
yeah.
always do speed races.
Alright, moving on. Wavi.
That
Next,
doesn't
the
exist.
distant unit is not a unit, and the next unit is banned.
Next two
Yeah.
units are
Cool,
banned.
Wavi got a buff and
The Fire Ravi is not banned. This unit is not used. Never. It's
I
just
mean the
banned.
next two units after.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They both are banned. Yeah.
Alright. Now we have one who got a big boy buff.
Banned.
Banned.
Yeah, I just said he's banned.
banned.
He need
Yeah.
to quit, imagine. Like,
This
yeah,
unit has pre-season written all over him.
Yeah.
I liked him in preseason though.
Mind dodges.
He's
yeah.
fun to play with,
Yeah.
but the minute he doesn't dodge, he just dies, and that's like 70% of the time he won't dodge. It's just
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. True. Alright. Carrot is just next Charlotte.
Same with
Yeah.
Carrot, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Carrot used to be like the most dominant unit in often, like basically like Wayang a bit 1.5 years ago, but now she's like off meta. It's fair.
I think Ed and Milim are better as red DPS.
Yep.
Problem with Carrot as
makes
well
sense.
is you have to pass effectiveness check to actually do damage with her.
That's true. Because people have been burned by effect resistance Aravi before.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Rimuru.
Situation, I think.
Situational.
Yeah.
Like
If
we
people
had
still
this
put run in
discussion-
defense and don't have Marrow, they're asking for it.
Yeah. Like we had this discussion with like they have a similar niche in that one too.
I think he's in the same level as Aola and Fangai.
I mean, it's still going to sort this. So.
I use him a couple times into Guiding Light Lua. Like once it's scouted, you can
Yeah.
Yeah.
use Rimuru to proc off Lua.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, this is a really difficult one, guys. What do you think about Ruana?
What about the best unit in the game?
I would
now?
say-
Can we add another
Mandatory.
tier above mandatory?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
The-
think
the
there's
one
any
that you-
discussion about her being here.
Okay, great. We all agree on that being the best giveaway in the game. Perfect.
Alright. Woes. Off meta? Out?
Off the
Well,
list.
off the list, yeah.
Rose is just
The-
Crow, replacement number 2.
Ornament
Okay, number 2, are you sure about that? Is that the correct file number you have?
She was Crow replacement number 1 for me.
Yeah. Roy just follows Rose where he belongs.
Yeah. Doesn't exist.
There were
No.
people actually arguing, bring him into Shu. And I was like, no.
Okay, Ren is either banned for me or off meta.
Honestly, off meta.
Like, Beta would make me want to ban this character.
The unit is insanely strong, it's not a meta.
Yes.
If the meta slows down and doesn't have like AoE damage, she's very strong, but it's not her. So
Yeah.
I
She'll come
like
back
her, but I
one
guess I
day.
would put her next to Ravi. Because they.
I'll be sorting later,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like basic Alright. Anyone wanna use Edin in offense?
Yeah, she's together with Rylan in the preseason.
She could get an MLM later, but the problem is she don't put herself on invincibility, so
Yeah.
she just dies.
Alright.
Not banned, right? Just doesn't exist.
I mean,
No, why not ban this evasion unit? It's okay. She doesn't
pretty-
exist, yeah.
Like, isn't it the
Rylan-
same thing?
No, there was a time when people were using this. It's like 2.5 years ago. There were people using Crow Ryland. It was a really popular tech comp at some point.
Yeah.
Oh,
But no one used that in, that's why.
Yeah.
so
Anyway, Fire
Yeah.
Shuri, I think, completely fell off the grid.
Oh yeah.
I think
The
we
double
just-
Shuri Lots comp was really good,
yeah,
but not.
but it's just too weak now, or too slow.
think,
Both basically.
Being a 14 speed imprint is pretty valuable, but Silk kind of replaced them.
It's
As a
fire.
Also, you need 2 units to win the game, basically, which is you're flexing at that point.
You need to quit on every unit. That's the main point.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not there to do any damage. He's just there to imprint. But Silk actually does
Yeah.
something more than
Yeah.
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 Alright. So SSB.
Situational with Elena, I guess.
Ooh.
Better?
I was gonna say
Oh.
recommended. but Okay.
Whoa.
I think Arya just does her job better.
Yeah, but what if you need 2 areas, huh?
Yeah, but you
I
cannot
want
be
to
Arya.
see the defenses where I need 2 of those.
Okay, you can.
Because
I
the way
think
we
she's.
use SSB was injury SSB into Aravi, and
Yeah.
Aravi doesn't really exist in defense anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you cannot bring Arya against Winter, so SSB
No,
I
for me, it's
think
off
is still a decent option.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's off meta, but the meta might change in favor of like other characters. So for me, it's off meta. It's one of the strongest guild war units in the game ever.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Like, I do think she will come back. Just
I mean,
He's
I
also
think
good into Bellion, but Bellion fell off as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
better news is bad than you.
All right. Sanya, anyone using her on offense?
Yes.
Yes. But,
Everyone.
but hear me out. I
Yes.
think she belongs exactly where G Armin is.
No, I think she's situational. She's our best solution.
That doesn't really work, does it?
I don't know what situation.
It's the same thing. It's the same argument we could take, as you say correctly, about like BBK and RB. But
Yeah,
I think
that's right.
no other comp except this one comp is for Senya as good. And there is a case where I might bring RB to something else sometimes.
So what is the comp where you use Senya? Just for me.
The
Lua Senya
Lua Shu Senya.
Really?
Yeah, that's our safest solution so far.
So,
So
it's-
far, just because it hasn't lost yet.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
That's why
working,
it's so
on it.
far.
We're working on it.
so
It's gonna do at some point, we know it, but we have no other answer.
like, isn't that the same point as Armin then? Because
No.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, that's why I said next to Armin would be my spot if I would put her anywhere. Because the unit is absolutely unusable in offense for me, except for that comp.
yeah, I guess. Okay.
And it's definitely still someone shipping her before she like has reached wider acceptance. She's going there, but if we make this list next month, she's still gonna be there. We can move her up.
yeah.
all right.
You agree with that?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think at the moment, she's the most successful MLM out of the three between like Armin, Senya, and Sharoon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. I have to try that. Alright, moving on. Pillars.
Yeah. It's really
If there's
difficult to
any
judge
argument
her.
for this one.
Oh, that's interesting because I would say recommended.
No.
I
I
No.
still
No.
think she does her job as she should, and there's
No.
still enough light units she has to build.
I'm fine with Monastery,
This
of
is the
course.
second best Guild War unit in the game for me.
Yeah.
I think the Steen is better, but
Yeah, I have to rank that Rana, Pillis, Destina, but it totally works the other way. Like they're pretty
We're going to
interchangeable.
do that later.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on. It's the third one of the MLM
Yeah.
trio.
The
MLM.
green winner gang. Yep.
I think if you asked us a week ago, it should have been situational, but this week was bad.
Yeah.
Sharoon's stocks went down.
Yeah, the same.
Don't,
we
don't
just
do
use
me
more
like
Sharon.
that. Don't do me like that. Alright.
Like, she's a terrible unit that gets carried completely by the fact that she's green and holds Celestine. Like,
Yep.
there's a lot of anti-synergy in her kit.
Yeah,
And she
that
doesn't
is
even do
very
her own-
confusing. It's very
And-
weird.
And it's very important to note that using her also locks down the best Guild War unit in the game in your team.
That is also something I noticed, which is kind of like, sometimes.
You can't attack this comp with Sharoon and Rana and have a Marrow comp in the other round, attack it safely on his count, maybe.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, she doesn't even do her job well, but she could hold Celestine. She's green.
Yeah.
So
If-
that's
if-
the
if
only
la-
reason she works.
If Lots was better, would be also okay.
Yeah. Time for the Yecht SC word.
I mean, we can put her and Tara now in MLM, I guess.
No, this character is just FTS Forever 87. That doesn't
Yeah, that's MLM.
No, this is
Next to Bryceria in Gone from
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
she's
I-
just gone.
I think she's fair to be on there.
Same as Secret, by the way.
Yeah, Secret used to be okay.
Alright. Anyone
Okay,
want
Red?
to say this?
Hello, I'm here.
You cannot put this.
MLM.
No one does what she does. She's
Ah.
not. I wouldn't ban her anymore, but I'm using very specific comms, so I think MLM is the best I can do.
I mean, it
Yes,
basically
I-
is only
I will
MLM.
never
right?
look. The problem with this MLM is like usually MLM is something that you wanna sell, but I don't wanna sell this, right?
Yeah.
So
Because
I'd
they're
rather
like
put her in
Yu-Gi-Oh!
band. I'd rather put her in band and just bring her out once every season or something. That's okay. Band is fine.
Alright.
Ah, nice.
Syngelica.
This unit is very
Oh,
interesting
Meta.
because last season she was mandatory,
Yeah.
and
I
this
mean-
season she's one of the 58 characters that counter Celelius. And she always needs a scout in very specific information. I think she's situational.
I think she's okay.
I almost put her in off meta because Bunny Dom is better.
I
in
would
most
have said
cases.
off
Yeah.
meta too.
Yeah.
That's because Lim Milim is good though.
She used to be so strong, and now she's.
She had really good synergy with Haiyang dual attacks.
Well,
and-
about that.
I've seen some people use like Aras Sinji against
Yeah.
the Lua Senya Shu, but that requires a scout.
It not only requires it, does it require a scout, it also requires you to get extremely lucky.
Yeah.
If the Sinji calls the Zahak as once, hits,
counter.
doesn't kill, and then Sinji hits and no immortality, and Sinji doesn't get countered by Zahak gets, Zahak can just die.
Yeah.
You have to have the correct speed tuning for that because you can have Zahak dual attack twice while being immortal.
Ah, yeah, exactly. But this is so difficult to achieve. No.
Yeah, with the speed buff and
She's
everything.
like borderline situational because she's really good into Meru, but I think
Yeah.
Bunny Dom kind of took her spot against Sibelius.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because Bunny Dom is not tuning specific. You go with the speed you want, you tune your other heroes according to it, and as long as you're not slower than the fastest DPS, you win.
Yeah, I think
She's very easy to trap against as well, like the high effectiveness Sibelius, slow Sibelius.
Yeah.
I think she's just gone from the meta for now.
Yeah. Drop
Alright.
off the century.
Anyone wanna sell that MLM?
I mean,
Deadly, we have to tag team this one, right?
Don't
Deadly,
think
right?
she's MLM. She's situational because Emeru is still a
Oh.
unit.
No,
I would
okay,
say
no,
MLM.
I can't.
I don't
No way.
know about that one.
There is no way I put that station in my...
Last guild, there was a comp that had Aria and Rylet. So 2 focus units, and people were afraid to use her against it. This
Yeah.
screams to me that she's unusable.
I don't think she's good into Rylet. I've been telling that to people because she
I,
can get outsped.
I know, that's exactly the problem, right? So you need to bring like a light tank, and then who does they do they target?
Yeah,
No.
She's
she's a
usable.
pretty good scouting unit because she's so safe. Like no one hits
Yeah.
her, and she's like good into evasion as well because her S1 does damage to evasion units.
Yeah, but if you put her somewhere and people start building her, start using her, I'm gonna blame you.
Yeah, but I think it's still fair to put her in MLM.
I think I convinced multiple people to use her, and like
That
saying
sounds
he
like an
uses her,
MLM though.
Yeah, it
Like-
is.
She works so well in the niche that she fills, and no one else
Yeah, that's
has
true.
her.
That is true though.
Is it
That's why
still
we
an
don't...
MLM though? I think
Yeah, I
MLM
think-
is fair.
It's same as Senya, right? It works well. But yeah.
But Senya has replacements. I don't think she has one. Like, there's no unit that counters focus units, and one of the best ways to deal with Ameru before used to be Hua Yang, and that doesn't exist anymore.
I don't feel like there is any comp where we are like, okay, we cannot use anything but but Solitaria so far.
It's between MLM and situation, yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
MLM is totally fair. Even Aura agrees with them.
I think we just put her on top here and see what goes for.
Oh no, what a top though. The other 3 that are just way better. Like I love this unit a lot, and I think everything Delhi says.
Look,
is correct,
we're
but
going to shuffle the top 4 anyway. So
never is my first thought ever. Solitaria.
what? All right,
I
moving
use her a
on.
lot, and I haven't seen her lose yet, so I think she's pretty good unit.
Survivorship bias, yeah. Okay, this unit's interesting.
Moving on. S10.
Off meta.
I
said
would
it.
say
Oh,
off meta.
no. I think with you being here, I think
Oh, no.
situational start to be like a decent option.
Yeah, but we don't know that yet. Depends on like the meta defenses of Zio are forming right now because
Yeah.
it just came out, and if people were put Zio and two other single target or like weak AoE in the defense, she might be good again. But at the moment, she's totally off meta.
I would say off meta.
I agree. I don't. There's usually people build their defenses with 2 AoE or Meru plus another AoE, and that kind of becomes a little sus for Stene to go into.
Yeah, of course, you never bring a STN against AoE, of course. That's good.
If you
Yeah.
put her in off meta, can you please add a disclaimer somewhere in the tier list to not pick Dark Corvus over her? And
Yeah, we will do it.
Yeah.
because I still think she's the best connection unit, but
Oh, I would definitely
Like-
say you should pick her over anyone else for
She's-
the connection things.
She's still a unit. Like there was this comp that Higa was using to scout with Zahak and SNA.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
But that comp is still like risky because there's so much shit that can happen. I don't think that the unit is gonna be
I mean, there is a main
meta.
problem is the fan.
Yeah, I got hit with that on
Yeah.
Friday. The spatial
these-
temporal
the-
fan stealthed
Yeah.
the shoe. I got lucky to pull her out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
putting out
right.
straight. It's gone.
Moving on. Celine.
Oh wow, this unit is we can discuss this for like half an hour.
Yeah, that's the problem. So,
This unit is insanely strong
for me,
and
it's
has
an ace,
almost
yeah.
no weakness.
But
She can be used in comms where she doesn't bait a dark unit to revive like the other 2 units and win the game. For me, right, just for me, I'm gonna say this unit's mandatory.
Yeah, and I think most people are gonna are gonna have the same opinion, but I think she's recommended for the same reason as an HC. She has weakness, and it's not obvious weakness, so most people just trust her blindly and can lose with her.
I think it's easy for the defense to exploit her weakness as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So like the mandatory units, they don't have many loose conditions, but she has some pretty obvious ones.
I think that's fair
Yeah,
for
I agree.
recommended.
I mean, it's really literally the same as an AC.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
similar to LHC.
Yeah, I agree. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Agreed.
Oh,
But her power level is very high.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, definitely. I still have to use her, but
I mean,
I
every
certainly
unit in
agree
Wii-
that she's strong.
Every unit in Recommended are so strong. Like,
Except for Christy.
yeah, except for Christy, but Christy is special. But aside from Christy, all of their kids are really strong.
Yep.
So it's that.
Alright. Moving on. Trace.
I'd put him in recommended.
Yes.
Not because like he's not good for scouting, but I think he's the best follow-up unit in the game.
I think he's.
A lot of times we'll like scout something and then the next like 6 hits will just be like something plus trays to kill their tank.
I think what
Yeah, but
also helped him is that Young is gone.
Yeah, he's like the best tank killer. So.
isn't he the best situational unit? I think this is
I
the
think
point.
he's recommended.
Yeah, both are fine to me, but I feel like he's the best situational unit after Scout. It's the best in his niche.
Well,
Like if no Snow Crystal, instantly punish.
I can also see that. Like the units he punishes are also not that existent in defense at the moment. Like you need good information for him, but then he's very strong. He's an auto win button basically.
He kills Shu whenever she's not Snow Crystal.
Yeah.
Let's say.
And
That's
for
fine.
most skills that are attacking us, also against Snow Crystal.
It's like he's strong if. That's why I would put him in situation.
That's okay.
I think that's okay. Alright. Some Shaka, which turned
Light
out
shooter.
we kind of failed with our assessment last time. Question mark?
Yeah, that was kind of a weird assessment last time.
Yeah. Bad.
But yeah.
I mean, we judged her before she came out, which made it really difficult.
Yeah. I mean, who would know it'd be like that? Alright. Summertime Visaria.
This
Ban.
one, I know some people are gonna want to put her in band, but I think she's actually really good because not because of the bombs, like she's super inconsistent, but she adds an extra layer of consistency to like Ida cleaves into bruisers. Plus, you can combo her with like Ran, Para, and Ida to get a double push on Ida, which will counter Sword Storm.
Yeah, that's exactly how I use them.
Like you don't really use her for the bombs necessarily, mostly for the extra push and like make the cleave more consistent. So I'd put her in situational.
Yeah, but not at the top. Yeah, I agree with this assessment.
I think
That's exactly how I use them.
Makes sense because it's like what we said with AOL, for example. Like, it's a S2 that we really want. It's not the bombs itself. It's like a nice addition, but it's not the main reason why we want to use her in any comp.
Also, there are some comps that are really hard to scout that you kind of like just gamble on Caesarea, kind of like we did for the Luna comps last season.
That was short-lived though.
Yeah.
I mean, we still find a couple of those, not necessarily Luna, but it's just comps that we don't know what to do. And
That is true.
But we found an answer at least. If I remember well, Bidom faster Zahak was something that we found that was decent.
Yeah.
That's another discussion, to be honest.
Alright. Continuing. Sage Vivian.
Nope.
Anyone using her for anything?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Not banned, just off the list.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
even.
Neo uses it.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, wasn't there that one picture of the Sage Vivian with about like 100 HP left? Not even close.
Yeah, look. You have to scroll down to put her into the list, and you also have to scroll down to find the user's win rate, so it's okay, let's go on.
anyone have any opinion on
No.
you?
Yeah, no.
Yes.
I don't. I have an opinion, it's not good, so.
I just know
If there was like a permanently banned a transmit here.
Tawano is like the most banned unit of the
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, yeah, he's the
Alright.
permanently banned unit.
Top models Luluka. She got
I've
buffed?
been seeing her use more and more
Yeah.
recently to kill Meru.
Yeah, I think she's
So I
secure.
put her in
Yeah.
situational.
She needs a
Like,
lot of
she's good.
calculations, though. I think she's more at the MLM stage than like she's worse than Milim. That's for me. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
she's worse than
Mil-
Milim.
Yeah. So MLM for me.
I
She
think
needs
Like
a
she's
lot.
people are trying to ship her because she's really pretty.
I mean, fair.
She needs a lot of stats though.
Oh,
A lot of
Yeah,
damage.
and very specific.
Yeah,
That's gonna be interesting though.
I think that's okay. So, Trozad.
He's
gonna be
between
a-
recommended and mandatory
Yeah,
for me.
I agree. The exact same opinion.
That
He's
high?
between those two.
I think he's mandatory.
Yeah, I agree.
I
would
think he-
put him as well.
Yeah, same.
What are you using him for? Just
Mitigation. He's the best.
Aria
oh yeah,
and mitigation.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Whenever you need one unit to survive, T-Crozet exists.
Exactly.
Yep.
That is true.
And I think Zio is gonna make him better. Watch me.
I
Hey,
can
he-
see
He's
that.
the reason Arya is one of the best units in the game.
He
So
helps.
he's-
I used Aria without him with pillars also works.
Yeah,
but
but
this, it makes a lot better.
yeah, it makes it a lot safer. I think Arya without T-Quaset have a lot of loose condition if something bad happen.
Yeah. So in that case, I'm going to ask, what about the
He's
SC
also really good
Aurora?
with. Like, he's also really good with Celine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably the best unit to pair with
Yeah.
Celine.
Oh, I always thought it's
Yeah, that's-
Ares with her.
Era's only because of RNL.
No, because of the shield. Yeah.
The
Oh.
the shield's also okay, but RNL is the problem. Else
If
three
you,
quarters
if you
better.
have Bastion on T-Crozet, then Arnel goes on him.
True. Alright.
I think the shield of Glass is super strong against with Celine.
I mean, I can definitely see it. I just haven't used it myself much because, well, I don't use it that much on Aria. currently. Alright, so the other knight, the other color knight, which has this very similar thing now.
I hear this unit is really good, but I just don't see it in Guild War.
I think this unit is very good, but we have already super good lightweight. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need more.
I think
Yeah,
that's,
I agree. Not a
this is
Guild War
the
unit.
biggest drawback for her, that she has a color which doesn't really need another tank.
It's,
Not only that, in her biggest benefit is probably when you bring her with other units of the same color, and that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
it's a lightweight that doesn't do anything else but mitigation. And then we have F Mayas that do the same but with more damage. And we have like Doris that heals. So yeah, she doesn't.
Arwell works so well in RTA, I think, because people like
She-
stack resistance, like 150, 200 is enough, but in Guild War it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his turn in RTA.
And if you get debuffed on Arwell, she doesn't even have aura, it's just no.
So
Yeah,
she's
unit-
just out.
I would almost put her in banned here because I don't want people using her.
I mean,
no one uses
that's
it,
not quite fair. Like, in that
Yeah.
case,
I
a
wanna
lot of
prevent
these would
stuff
be
that's gonna
banned
happen.
too. Like,
Yeah,
she's-
it's like a pre-ban.
I think
a pre-ban,
she's just,
yeah.
Nah, I think she's just out, but not banned because
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
I
see
think she's
it.
got some anti-synergy in Guild War because when you bring a light unit, usually they're the one tanking, but she has escort, so ideally you'd want someone else to tank for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see
So you can't bring her into debuffers because you're at risk and of your protect just not working? Oh no, this really doesn't.
Like,
if you
you
compare
don't-
with Cross, it doesn't work.
that. Yeah.
You don't want to bring her into a Ravi or Rylet.
Yeah.
No, you don't. So
And
yeah,
in Guild War, since you only have 3 units, right? T-Cross gets a lot of value compared to like RTA, where you have like 4 units and 3 have to be like 2 of them gonna be open. It's very different.
yeah,
That's why Arabelle I think is much better there.
yeah.
Whereas
I
3 is also non-existent because it can just get 15%.
And the
True.
barrier still exists, but yeah, it's weird. Okay,
Alright.
let's move on.
The other speed imprint unit
No, just no.
gone with the wind.
I don't know if he's gone. I feel like he was never used, really.
Oh, I don't know.
You can replace a double Shuriken, you can replace one of the Shuris with him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
great.
This guy is
This
more
u-
important.
This unit is off meta.
Off meta, yeah, for sure. He was one of the best unit, and.
And Lua killed him. Okay.
Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Sucks into Lua. and
It's
sucks
so
into
sad
Sun.
that Lua just completely defeats him.
Also Senya, like I said, the lady said.
Yeah.
Yeah, Senya too. Yeah, both of them being so strong.
And there's a
right now.
chance that Shu beats him, that's our problem.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have the same opinion as Deadly on this one.
Okay, sell it to me.
Situational.
Ah, okay. I thought you would put her in recommended,
What?
seeing the number of time you use her like the dual and
I,
everything.
Yeah,
I
but
like her a
it's-
lot with like usually a fast unit, Silk and Zahak, and then
Yeah.
she can pull Zahak.
I agree.
Um,
Acid, Silk, Zahak, this kind of setup.
I
Make
wouldn't
it
recommend
really-
people to do. I don't.
Yeah, true. Is that true? That's true.
she's
Okay.
kind of unique in that like she has a 14 imprint. Like Shuri has it too, but
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Surin, but hers
Yeah.
is
Like she's the best 14 speed imprint in that scenario, but
The thing is that she's also an imprint, and imprint usually you want to be like a fast most of the time, and on top of that, she's a unit that then doesn't need to do anything by herself. Her S3 works without sets basically, and her S2 just needs to be buffed and brings your best unit, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she
It's
holds
really good unit.
she holds sachet as well. It's
Yeah.
like so many good things together that yeah, for me she's really good.
I
She
think
offers
she's
a lot of-
borderline recommended for
Yeah.
Cleave. Because
She offers
you
a
can
lot of-
also have
Sorry,
like just
go-
Ren, Ida, Silk, for example. Like if you only need to outspeed, she's good there.
so
Like she's similar to Christie, right? She have a lot of really good things together that make her a good unit. Even if it's not used that much, when it's used, it's just really good.
Yeah, but like, there's a couple of comms, right? So recommended is more situational than
I think
recommended.
situation.
Like she's not,
I-
you're not gonna
I'd
use
keep
like
it
her with Dark Horse or
situational.
something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah,
I'm like the only person really using her in TL1.
yeah, true.
yeah. All right, moving on. Since we just had the discussion about light ranger unit with speed imprint,
Of
what
meta
happened to
use?
Watcher?
Nexus Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty
He's one of
much
the
the
best one
same,
dudes in the
right?
game and is an imprint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's.
He's good with
absolutely
Sinji,
fair.
which is his problem. And if the opponent has Mariner defense and Lilith, then you can't use him without Sinji.
I
If you don't
remember.
bring also Milim.
I remember one of the best comps being like Sinji, Watcher, and Foyang.
Yeah,
That also
Makes sense.
died.
I mean, she used to be one of the best units in the game by far. He did insane damage, have a speed imprint, and sachet. So.
Alright, so the unit that was basically created to shit on Huayang, and now
Well, we
Huayang
took-
is dead.
Yeah, we talked about it, I think.
I think he's still recommended.
Yeah, in my
I think she's
opinion,
Maybe
MLM.
Crown.
Pro and F
Really?
FIR.
Yeah.
Same for me.
She's
Uh,
MLM for me.
Because
Really?
there are a lot of red DPS like Kairon and Firehand guy.
Yeah.
Would
She's
you,
so
would you
good.
ever use her into Karen over Aria or something?
Yeah, but people-
I use both.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally okay with the argument we're having. I just think it's not a good unit at the moment.
I think if you
And
don't
not
have
because of
Arya,
Huayang.
it's so good.
She needs too many things to happen for her to be good.
I
And
think
Oris takes her too long to take damage because her horse is much worse than Kraus.
maybe situational then.
Yeah, situation
I think
maybe.
Situational.
Okay.
I don't think she completely fell off because Hyang is gone. Like
MLM
She's
is
still
not
a
really a
really
bad
good
tier,
unit.
right? Like, look at Senya, Asharon,
Ah,
and Garmin. It's not a bad tier, but I think there's not a lot of comms where I think, okay, that's definitely we're gonna Eula.
Yeah, I think that's the issue.
But on the other hand, I wanna say, she's one of the characters I expect to be countering Zio. So maybe she's
Yeah.
gonna get up again. So situational.
Yeah. I think situational is fine.
I think MLM is kind of like an extension of situational right now,
Yeah.
just not as widely adopted.
And
Yeah.
everyone adopted Eula. It's fair, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Alright.
Oh,
Now,
that's interesting.
now the other guy who got big boy buff.
He's in the same tier for me as
I think
Dark
that
Horse.
is fine.
I think he's mandatory.
I think he's like similar
It's
to
because
Chico,
the-
he's between those two.
you can't scout with him.
You can actually.
Okay, you can't always scout with him.
Yeah, of course you can always go, but that goes
But
for
in
another
the top
unit.
tier, I can all of them can scout every time.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he would be recommended.
Okay, already convinced me with that, to be honest.
I think he's somewhere between recommended and mandatory. Like
He's a
very
Yeah.
tail end
really,
mandatory,
really
very
is-
high end of recommended. He counters or he works really well against like Shu and Senya. Granted, you need to bump your crit chance to more than 50.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's fine. That's
His main problems are not always ideal to scout. His damage is capped. It's a very big problem. People use high HP Senya, Holy Sex Senya, Proof Senya, Proof Shoe. Like, of course it's gonna injure them, right? But the rest of your comp still gonna suffer. Like, this is
Yeah.
why I would put this in recommended. He's really, really strong. But that's it for me.
Yeah, like all of the units are recommended. They are all really strong.
I agree with
The
that.
fact that he's like completely self-sufficient, like gives
Yeah.
self-attack buff, self-cleanse, also attack buffs another unit,
So good.
doesn't care about anti-crit.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's like the only safe nuker aside from like Kawazu, but Kawazu is more like a tank bruiser unit.
If you could merge him with Watcher, I would definitely put it in mandatory.
Yeah.
Like,
His
if not
buff
even
was
on
really good
S3,
for him.
yes.
But yeah, he's you need stats to be able to kill.
Yeah. Well, pretty much a gear gap. Not gear gap, but gear check unit.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, the new one?
No. No, because he can kill.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
His S1 and proc does a lot of damage, but
You have
In
to pocket
so-
situations
Gone or banned?
No, then.
No judgment yet. He came out yesterday. We didn't use him in tech, so I would say there, but I'm expecting him to be there next time as well.
Yeah.
I
If his
see like
S3 Soulburn, sorry, if his S3 Soulburn was ignore effect resistance, different game.
He's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
If you
potential for
broke it,
him.
that was the case.
Okay, I agree, but I'm saying that's what he needs to do for me to be out of this tier for now.
Yeah, on Eloy, yeah.
Alright.
Of course it would be broken. Okay, one of the units is not out yet, and the other one is.
Yeah. I don't know yet.
Oh, I know.
Fresh!
The other one is really niche. It's similar to Solitaire, right? Permasters. Do something, but
I
yeah.
think Saltar is better because
Okay,
Yeah, I think
what Winter does is great against people who attack like we do.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's an anti-kill
Yeah,
unit. But in offense, I don't know.
no, it's terrible.
There isn't that much non-offensive unit.
Okay, hot take. I want to put her in ban just so no one adopts this in attacking. But you can have a
Yeah, but-
disagreement with that. There's
but,
no comp that she's good into.
That's pre-ban, right?
I mean, I would
Okay.
like I don't like the pre-banning thing just because it's like it defeats it technically defeats what we had it for.
It's
Like,
okay.
this
if
is
you need a slow
proven bad,
DPS, why
basically.
not use Steady or Solitary?
Yeah,
Ah,
this
They-
unit is awful in attack.
yeah.
If people start putting Destina, Yola, and Dark Horse in defense, thumbs up. Other than that, no.
Alright. So
You want to
We-
sort in the tiers now?
yes, we only took 2 hours to reach this.
That's
stage.
pretty okay. To be honest, I expected longer.
I mean, we could still discuss a bit here. Alright,
Yeah.
starting with mandatory. Wahana is pretty much the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that we all agree on that.
Yeah.
Who gets rank 2 though?
I
For
would
me-
say Destina.
Because of Cena.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
Yeah,
used
Destina
everywhere.
for sure.
Sounds pretty
Okay.
pretty clear.
Okay. As the third is gonna be so hard though.
The third is for me is Pillars, and there's no argument. That unit is so good.
I disagree, but I know I don't have the same opinion as
Who would
as
you
everyone else.
who would you go for as third?
I don't know. To be honest, there are so many good units here. Doris, Kawazu, Arya, they are also good. I think Doris is so stable.
I think between Pillars and Doris.
Yeah.
I would agree, like that we put these two here first, and then just unclear who is the better one.
Honestly,
They're pretty interchangeable, right? They're
Yeah.
both
yeah,
the best at what they do.
They
I
also work
understand.
very well together as always.
yeah.
Pillars' biggest issue at the moment, like why I would put her out of top 3 for this argument is that Lily's falling off. Same issue, right? She's really good into Cecilius. She's
Yeah.
good into dual attacks and counter attacks as well, which is like her prime reason to be used.
But
And she
she's
can
not-
also be used in other comps as a shell, but like her main reason was Cecilius, and that's why I'm agreeing with not putting her top 3 but in rank 4.
Yeah, that's why. That's my opinion of why I'm not a fan of her as much as you are, but it's fine.
Alright, so if we keep
Okay.
this top 4, who's the 5?
For me, it's Kawazu.
For me, it's Kawazu. It's compared to the other units, aside from Chicolet, I think he's the one you can bring in most situations. And Raz, but Raz is it's a different problem.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Alright. So
I
four
think
left.
this order is fine actually.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, really?
I think honestly, Raz is behind is worse than Trozen.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that order is fine. Yeah.
I think Raz is only here because he's red. To be honest.
I mean, we
Yeah, it also
pretty
gets
much
immunity.
said
There's
that,
two.
right?
It's really good against Pera with any Brunner,
but
Celine,
most-
but of course, like Pera is not an issue at the moment.
Most of
Yeah.
the time he gets reset, right? Because he get S2, S3, so you cannot even put a protection set on him. So most of the time he just don't even press any spells.
Yeah, the thing is why he's also here is because of Spirit Isolene income. So you have to like see that he's very good into the RNL shenanigans if you want to use a different artifact
Yeah.
on Closet. So for me, he's exactly that. This is a good order for me. Like I definitely agree with this.
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
so,
he
it's
deserves to
fine.
be mandatory. I agree as well.
I would say that's something we could defend, like if anyone asked why it's placed the way it is.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on to recommended, which also got a bit.
This is gonna be hard because I think we can already say that the Cleave unit are special. They are here because they alone carry a game style, a play
Yeah.
style. Sorry.
Exactly.
So it's hard to rank them compared to the rest.
Yeah. Look, how about we put Dark Harvest in the front,
Yeah, I
and then we
agree.
put Zahak behind it.
I agree as well. But yeah, we're gonna
And
have a
after
problem
that-
with the Cleave.
After that, it's wide open. I think Celine and Lermia are like Doris and Pillis. They're pretty interchangeable. Like they don't do the same thing, but they're very strong in their own regard. And Crow is the ring 3 for me. So like 4 and 5 for Celine and Lermia, maybe. And then
Yeah.
the 2 tanks at the end and the cleave units in the middle. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that.
I think maybe. Oh yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see this. I can see this, especially with the usage currently. Alright.
Delhi, maybe you have something to say.
No, I agree.
Okay.
Well. Moving on to situational. Still the
Gonna
biggest
be tough,
one.
a lot of units here.
This is okay. Well, you want to move the other ones first, because then we maybe have more
Yeah.
leeway to talk longer about this category. The off meta one, I don't think we have to sort
I
this.
think off
I
meta
think
and
the
band is just the way it is, so it's just
Yeah.
MLM.
It's whatever.
MLM, yeah, that's the one.
Alright. Go for it.
The best
Senya.
MLM is for sure Senya.
Then yeah, then Sharon.
And yeah,
Then it's questionable.
Then Tomoka, then Solitaria. And then Hasol, and then the rest.
Hassel. Fuck Hassel. I won't give my opinion on this one.
You can. I mean, I'm just saying my opinion as well. Like, I'm not stating facts.
Yeah, but
I see a
don't
lot
want
of Guild Vortex, a lot of people in other guilds adopting the Hasol tech, and they're kind of successful with it. I know it's survivorship bias, right? But like, it's a unit that people are willing to build because it's 3-star, 3 molars, and she can do the job reasonably well, which is good enough for most people. So in the MLM tier, I think that's a well-sold one.
I would move Sharoon and Armin down,
Okay.
It would have been down.
like to the bottom of MLM, because Senya like
Oh, I disagree. I don't know. Yeah, for me, I'm not even sure that Sharon is less safe than Senya. I think we used Sharon so much that for now it's obvious that she loses more. But I don't know.
Yeah. Also, like, I wouldn't put Sharoon worse than LRK, for example.
Yeah.
Or Badcat Armin. That's not fair. I think Badcat Armin is definitely the weakest MLM of those, and then Amaru. They're both really weak.
I agree that Armin can be put a bit down because of the fact that she has RNG in her hit, but I think Sharon just do her job pretty much consistently, even if she don't
Yeah.
land.
We used like how many attacks? Like at least 100 attacks, right? And like 2 or
Yeah.
3 people lost. It's a really good win rate for a comp. It's pretty good. Like if all 3 losses would happen in the same guild, it would be really bad. But other than that, I would still say it's an MLM that's relatively well working.
So
Like the spread rate and the success rate is kind of high.
Especially for a
was
slow
biased because I was one of the losses.
that's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm. Other things. About
Especially for
Senya.
local.
What kind of Senya is it? Is it just a tanky one or like?
It's
what does she
a
have to
specific one that you can look at a screenshot at later. How about that?
Yeah.
do? No, I'm just asking like
We don't want to
previously
answer
was.
was one count for this.
Oh, right. I mean, I think it looks reasonable, the MLM
Yeah.
tier. Because like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the top 3 is literally what we said. Like,
I think LRK
it's
is
all
higher
the
than
same.
Sililius.
Honestly,
LRK is
for
higher
me-
than Sililius. LRK is higher than Solitaria as well for me. But Deadly, what do you think?
No.
Okay, great. Glad we had that
use-
talk.
I use both, and
Yeah, okay.
like I think 4 of the units here are like mostly me using it. Like out of all of these, Solitary and LRK are the ones that got adopted by more people as well.
Yeah, in my opinion, like the Rider Pro comp is 100%. So he deserves to be higher than Acer. That's how I see it.
I don't see anyone in tier 1 using Assault.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
Uh,
great
people
for
in
Echo
tier
to
1
come back.
using
Yeah.
all the other ones.
Echo used to do it, and it was scuffed, to say the least.
Well, I can live with
Oh, yeah.
putting Hazard down, but
I haven't seen a single Assault attack in tier 1, but I've seen all the other ones. Except for Sibelius, that was just me. But if you guys want to move her down, I'm okay with that.
I would just put Echo just before because he 100%, so no reason
Yeah.
to put him down.
That's okay.
That's what I think.
I'm fine with that.
so like
He do his job consistently, even if
Just
it's
just swap Assault and
yeah.
alright. Sure. Alright, so
Oh god, the situation is going to be
now
such a
the
pain.
big one.
I think it doesn't make much sense to rank like half of those units because they are really good at their job for one comp. So
Yeah, that's why
it's-
maybe it doesn't make sense to rank them. I think
I-
we should look at what situation occurs more often. How about
yeah,
that?
exactly.
That's what I would say too. Like, who has the most usage from the like, which situation is the one? we expect?
Iseria.
Strays,
Either
Alexia, FCC,
Iseria for sure.
Isaiah, yeah.
Either that or how many comps can you use them in. It's
Yeah,
like
that-
once
that
you
is-
scout like strays,
Hmm.
watcher, usage goes up. But
Syria is like actually used for scouting a lot. So
Yeah, I think Iseria is there.
Isaiah, then Anencia? What do you think? Anencia is still used a lot, right?
I think
Compared to the
strays
rest.
is used more. FCC as well.
Yeah, true.
And then
BM Haze is totally there, and then Hand Guy maybe.
I actually
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
that FCC was being used again. I didn't notice that at all.
I would move B-Dom up.
Yeah.
Hengay for me is top tier as well because he's the only safe answer to a really problematic comp.
Yeah, and
Move AL down. She's-
Wanderer down, AOL down.
Yeah, Yula up, I think.
I think put Wanderer next to like below Sid or something.
I would put Sid and Watcher up
What
Yeah,
you
but-
have? I don't know.
next to Bunny Dom.
Okay, when did you use Watcher for the last time?
As a speed imprint and
Yeah,
one
but-
shot a unit.
When? Because the question, like, recently, did you use him? Yeah.
I use him 11 times a season. He's my sixth most used unit.
That's fair, okay, never mind.
But then yeah, most of follow-up hitter. With that, just that. I've not used him a single time this season.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm
we
always
can-
scouting.
We are scouting, so we cannot use this anyway.
I think I kept track of this, and around 60% of my hits were scouts.
That's crazy.
Is how? Just how?
I mean,
Because
just
you
deadly,
can cleave
deadly
on
angle.
scout.
Yeah. Some comps you can.
Okay, for me, Kawak is still like way up because he is currently. I said it already. One answer.
Eric's behind B-Dom for me.
Yeah, but up.
And all the other ones are totally interchangeable for me.
Yeah,
Like I think.
Like
it's
after
7 points.
Sid, everything's just wide open for me. Yeah, Eula could be behind Wanderer Silk, that's correct. Then Rimuru because it's really good in the situation, but all other units totally situation, like at random.
yeah.
They're
It's
not
no
really
better or worse.
comparable, but
Yeah.
I think this is like starting from here or like even here, but it's like it's just one comp or like one situation. All
There's
of them
other
have like
guild-
ones.
There's other guilds who have a lot of success using Elena. And for that reason, I think it might be interesting to move her like below Arcadius or something, or below Momo. But that's it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I see her use a lot against us.
Yeah, that's what I
That
mean.
is true,
See a lot
that
of
is
a
true.
lot of other user against us.
I
If I
see so
remember
many
well-
Elenas. It's very surprising.
If I remember well, they lost quite a fair amount of time against Deadly and so. But yeah.
Alright, so situational is pretty much this.
Yeah, I think so. I think situational doesn't make a lot of sense to like sort.
Like, we don't need to sort it
Yeah,
even more
aside
with
from
the
the-
one comp unit, so.
Aside from the top 5, like the rest is kind of irrelevant.
So, moving down for Band again. Oh god. Okay, done
No, we don't need to sort any others, right?
Yeah.
I think we're done.
really. So,
I think
this
we are done,
is
yeah.
this is a tier list. God damn
Yeah.
it.
Anyone in the chat has any questions?
I think there is some bias here, like from the people that are in the call, like units we use, because
Yeah.
we don't really use the off meta ones, but I still see them get used sometimes. Like like Charlotte, for example.
But at the
Yeah,
same time,
APOC.
that's the reason
Okay,
for the off meta, right? Like, you can still use them, we just don't recommend them.
Which Charlotte? Sorry, the fire one?
Yeah. Is the one
Yeah,
who's
but I
off
mean,
meta.
I used to use fire Charlotte a lot actually, but to be honest, it's clear that she fell a lot.
Or like APOC and SSB. Like some people will still use them, but
Yeah,
a
but
lot less than before.
Biggest question for me is Aria, stat line and use case.
Arya, tanky, like very high defense. Don't need much speed, some crit damage and some HP, like 15k HP, and then get as much defense as you can, and some crit damage.
For damage, you can probably run like 220. I think that's what I
Hmm.
run mine as.
Yeah.
You can just run
I saw a
HP
lot of
boots.
those.
A lot of people like running speed boots, but I'm like, you need to live more than you need to take a
Yeah,
turn.
like she's
And
the
you have
one who
CR
takes
push.
everything, so just let her survive.
Of course, you want ER.
ER, maybe 100 if you can get it.
You keep
Uh.
like 3 between like bulk, speed, crit damage, and ER. And in my case, I chose to drop speed for getting all the
Yeah,
other
I
ones.
also went against speed in that.
Yep.
So I have like tanky, ER, high crit damage, but no speed.
Yep. Also, guys, talent is recruiting in case you want to apply. DM Redman Kunian 3783.
Let's go. But
Yeah.
Caesarea isn't in recommended because she need to debuff most of the time to be useful. So that's a no-go when everyone can resist. Yeah, that's the main reason she's not in recommended.
Yeah, I think. Apply now to tier 1.
I think
Alright.
there's gonna be some controversy about like APOC Stenny being off meta.
It's okay. That's it. It creates discourse, so I don't.
And I still think you should put a disclaimer that Stenny should be picked from connections.
I can write this in the Reddit post.
It's a Guild War tier list. Like we are not making a PvE.
Yeah,
tier
but the
list.
problem is that there's some streamers that are recommending picking Dark Horse over Esteni on the ML selector, and it's not correct. That's what we need to prevent with
Yeah.
putting Dark Horse up there and Esteni down there.
Yeah.
Like everyone, a lot of heroes that are available to pick are higher. Look at RB as well. Doesn't work.
Can I do
Yeah.
that here?
Okay,
And-
so
Huh.
we're gonna make a Reddit post, a summary for this, and publish it for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for you guys for hanging out and doing this. It was a lot of fun. We took like 2 hours, 15 minutes. I hope the viewers also had fun. If you want, send me your feedback in the DM as well. Or on the servers that I'm on. Hey, it's gonna be on YouTube and on Reddit.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're also gonna put a tier list wherever people wanna read it, so.
Gonna. That's exactly what we're going to do. So basically, whoever wants to see it or wherever you want to see it, it will probably be posted there in some shape or form. Alright, so thanks guys for doing this. It was a lot of fun again.
Yeah, indeed.
I didn't think the tier list would have changed that drastically, but well, now I have it in front of me and I'm
I think the meta changed a lot with the Bayang nerf. And the-
Wyong
I
being
think the
gone
Wyong
just
nerf just
drastically
did a
changed
lot.
everything.
Yeah. So many
Allowed
units
so many
fell
more
out.
units.
Like before, you couldn't take Rana or Destina into Bayang, but now there's like not really a red unit that can kill those.
Yeah. Pretty much.
At
you guys
least
think...
not easily. There's like Karik and Kairon, but you can tank those.
You guys think Hwa-Young will get the EE that gives her her old stuff back?
Maybe one of each, and you can pick.
Yeah, sounds reasonable, right?
Sounds really boring, but reasonable.
Yeah. Oh well.
I think she's still usable as a follow-up, you know? I
Yeah.
used her a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, if more people have torrents it, I think the reaction they had with the Wyong nerf was actually not a Wyong nerf. I think they did it because they knew the protection set and torrent set exactly was coming out. They knew that because they planned it, and that's why they nerfed her. I don't think they nerfed her because she was so strong. Don't think so.
I think.
I think
it makes
they
sense.
sold it that way, but I think the reason was that the torrent set was coming out.
I don't think they nerfed her because people were building her like 16k HP and
That was just
she was
ridiculous.
still doing her
Like
stuff.
Yeah.
the Degen builds of Hwa-Young were just too strong. Like, not
Yeah.
Degen, but like the
Yeah, on these sidelines.
those builds were just not okay. Oh well. Game does know what happened in the game. Nah, we're just kidding. Alright, anyway,
I think there's
thanks.
potential for more meta changes with the collab units coming out
Oh yeah.
because they still haven't announced 2 of them.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the last two bring.
I'm having high hopes for Karina.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is this hope?
I mean, I think that fist thing will be something fun.
The fist thing. Are you into this? Okay.
Look,
Okay.
have you seen the teaser? It looks funny.
Okay.
Alright. Give more bookmark, please. Alright, so anyone has anything left to add?
Nope.
Nope.
Alright,
I think we're good right now.
then I'm going to thank everyone for coming, watching, and joining the stream, and we'll do this again in like, don't know, a few months.
Next season.
Next season, yeah.
Yeah, probably in the middle of next season again. Alright. Thanks and bye bye.
Bye bye. See you guys.
Thank you.